What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I got to have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me? This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, friends? Let me see what's happening inside of the chat. Let's see, Vicious. Good morning, everybody in the chat. Walk on wood. I see you. I live in West Virginia. What is going on in New York? Please. Never give up, Anton. What is that? What does that mean? What? Yeah, I seen the notification that Chuck Norris died in his 80s. Every minute of the day, even when you get mad, bring yourself back to enjoying. Once the light goes out, enjoying stops. Beans Green says, good morning. What up? Good morning to Beans Greens. Great morning. Stock market is showing discounts all over for great companies. AD should add a Kung Fu flick for Sunday. I got ideas for Room 9, but y'all never listen. How don't we listen? There's nobody that takes insight from the chat more than Anton from Anton Daniels. What up to Marlo Reed? I appreciate you, Marlo. I really, really do appreciate you for holding me down. Thank you. Thank you for all of the supporters of the platform and for the 50. I appreciate you. Thank you, Marlo. Thank you, Marlo. Thank you, Marlo. Let's see what else is happening. I see Slimmy in here, Jesse Xavier, Oscar, Azriel. What up to everybody in the chat? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? No, I heard about Chuck Norris passing away. Is 84 a good age in your opinion? 84 is a phenomenal age. Right Path Good says, rest in peace, Chuck Norris. Blessings to you and the family, AD. I think it's a good age. I think it's a good, ripe, old, full age for somebody to have lived a full life. Your car says, AD, stop going viral. You messing up my timeline. I don't even know what I go viral for, to be honest with you. I don't know what I be going viral for. I don't think about it. I try to get as much rest as I can. I try to work as hard as I can, and I try to enjoy life as much as I can. That's what I'm about. That's all I'm about. That's what it is. All the rest of it, you let the chips fall where they may, and then you deal with it accordingly. You know what I'm saying? I think that 86, 84, 86, that's a really, really full life. I don't know what else you look to do after that. Like, what do you do? What do you do? Warren Buffett just recently retired in his 90s. What else do you do past 86? You know what I'm saying? Once you start losing your faculties and stuff like that, not saying that that's what Chuck Norris was, but once you start losing your faculties, I think that it's time to go ahead and wrap it up for me. For me personally, I know a lot of people just want to live long just for the sake of living long. What's good, John Teal? Maxine is still running at her age. He was just sparring a week ago. He good. I just got the notification on my phone this morning as I was coming into the studio. AD is going viral because he said he is the king of YouTube. What's the lie? You know how you know you made it big, to be honest with you? You know how you know you made it big is everything that you say is a soundbite. So it don't matter if you talk about YouTube, it don't matter if you talk about women, it don't matter if you talk about anything you say is a soundbite. Like if I say something or if I react to something or if I say something about somebody, it means something. You know what I'm saying? Housekeeping, live stream tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, well, we're gonna have lunch with AD, breakfast, brunch with it. Let's say brunch with AD on the Patreon, and we're gonna be talking about stocks and the market and the buying opportunities. Tonight we got after hours, so hopefully that is awesome and you guys enjoy that. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that I might need some new blood, bro. Like that's kind of the thing that I want to get y'all feedback, chat, before we get into the show. Like, I got such a positive response from the Wednesday show. You know what I'm saying? Like in the Wednesday, people's like, "Oh man, that's one of the best shows," and we've interacted in a long time. Now I don't know it because all I know, because I'm on camera, because I'm talking, because everything is going the way that it is or whatever like that. I can't see myself. I'm not reacting to it the way that I'm reacting to it. You know what I'm saying? So when I see it and I get the feedback, it kind of puts this bug in my ear and this bug in my mind. And it's like, yo, you know, I might need to switch stuff up because one thing about it is that when you have shows that last as long as it lasts, for like that my shows be lasting, everything gets more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And so things get a little bit more comfortable and all of that stuff. And so in order for you to grow, in order for you to evolve, I think you have to add something new. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I need to add some new people or what, bro. I don't know what that is. I don't know what I need to do. But you know, you got to try to keep the people motivated, keep the team motivated. You got to do all of that, you know. So I don't know, man. I just don't know. I'm trying to figure out what changes would y'all like to see. And I'm just taking y'all feedback. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna implement or not implement, or maybe I implement a version of it. But I like to continue to get feedback from people so that I can understand exactly what y'all want to see. What changes would y'all want to see on after hours? John Teal says, your Pistons lost me some money. I bet somebody that if the Pistons and the Knicks are the two teams out of the East, that the Knicks will go home to losers. What do you mean? If the playoffs is not even here yet, how do we lose you some money? I need more people. Introspection is the key to growth. Can't evolve too much or too fast. I need the ladies to do a show and crush the view. I'd like to see me on the show. Switch the fellas up for more variety takes and intelligent homies. We want Mimi like 1 or 2 times a month. Call-in portion of the show would be good. 1 or 2 dope callers. AD, I hope you open up the line today because I would like to talk. I'm guessing you're saying like to talk to me. Talk to me about a video you did on parenting kids. I have questions. I need a villain. I thought I was the villain. I could do invites with other good YouTubers, break down with shampoo, bring in guest content creators. That's a good idea. I'll be liking to keep everything in-house. New people. Business is the first seed. What is he talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. We need some help for Slimmy. He seemed like he on an island by himself a lot of times. Funny how Newscomb got caught cheating. You should do call-ins. Tamara should be a regular. Trill is pretty good. I like Trill. I don't know who Jack Morgan is, A-Dun. I'm sorry. This is all good feedback. A ladies' night, says Mimi. I don't know if y'all can handle yourself. Thought you interview other YouTuber Mondays, bro. It's out there on Mondays. Oh, no, that's still in the works. It's not that we're not going to add shows. I'm just asking for y'all feedback on what y'all think. V. Nicole says, I love Tamara. White boy on YouTube. Anton, you covered him before. Let me host ladies' night. But I'm wondering if I got to babysit y'all. They're going to be, you know what? I wouldn't mind, let me say something, Trill. About the whole conversation about women hosting a show. Let me tell you why I'm skeptical about women hosting a show. And then we'll go ahead and get into this show on the Millionaire Morning Show. The reason why I'm skeptical about women hosting a show is that I don't think that women are consistent enough to be able to host a show. I don't. I see y'all saying that's what y'all want, but I don't want to start something that we can't maintain. And I just don't think that women got it. Women as content creators, they don't have it, man. They don't have it. If you had women host a show, women are the most inconsistent creatures in the world. If you had women host a show, you would have to get 15 women and rotate them out for the ones that's gonna be there and that could be there on time. It's fucking impossible, bro. It's impossible. It is impossible. I don't know how I would be able to get women to consistently be on the show. And it don't even matter. It don't matter about nothing. No form or factor is ever going to be consistent. I just don't see it. Even the women is agreeing. It's hard. It is so hard to it's cool if women work for you, but you just gonna have to, women are really incredible creatures when you work with them and they work for you, but you just gonna have to bake in that they just not gonna be on time. They don't care about none of that stuff. They gonna take their vacations. They gonna do all of that. Men got a different gear. You know what I'm saying? Men got a different gear in them that's just like, fuck it. I ain't taking no days off for the next 2 years. And we don't care. Like, we'll suffer through it. We'll do whatever it is that we got to do in order to cook. Women, man, it's like I'm not. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. Real talk. Real talk. Like, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. If I like with your car, right? Your car, I don't ask him his schedule. I don't tell him a certain time that I'm gonna work or that I'm gonna send him stuff. I don't do none of that. I just be like, I just start sending him stuff. Sometimes I don't have to say nothing. I just start sending him stuff. It don't matter what time of the day. It could be the nighttime. It could be the daytime. He just understand the mission, right? And so those type of people, for me, are invaluable because it's like, wait a minute, this guy is he here, he there. It don't matter what time. It could be 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It could be 7, 9 in the morning. It could be 1 p.m. It could be whatever. And I try sometimes. I try my best to give him a heads up, like, yo, I'm about to send you a boatload of stuff or recording or whatever like that. And he just get it done. I don't ask him questions. I'm not trying to figure out what he got going on. I don't ask him how much he worked. I don't ask him how long it take him. It don't even matter. My thing is, I just need what I need. I don't want no babysitting. I don't want none of that. I don't want to have to call and say, hey man, where you at? What you got going on? I never have to do that shit. I never have to do that. And so as a result, valuable. Valuable as hell. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. That's just the truth. It's just a fact, man. It's just the truth. Don't matter if it's a holiday, a weekend, a weekday, nighttime, none of that. None of that matters. Whatever I need done, that shit get done, bro. And I just understand women. You just got to you got to nurture them. You got to babysit them. Got to check on them. I never have to check on Quentin. I never check on Slimmy. Even when it seemed like they mad as hell, or they could be mad at each other. I don't call Quentin and Slimmy. I just know they're gonna be there. The ladies, you gotta check on them. Hey, how's everything going? You need anything? Okay, all right. Well, listen, I got your back if you need anything. Okay, all right, bye, peace. If you don't check on women, even the women that you don't work with, bro, even the women that you don't work with, like, if you don't talk to them for like a couple weeks, or if you haven't responded to their text messages or whatever because you just got super busy, they're gonna call you and they're gonna be like, hey, are we good? Is everything great? Okay, because I didn't hear from you. I'm like, what are you talking about? But then I have to remember, they not guys. They not guys. They not men. Men are different. It's just the way that we are. And obviously, of course, we're going to get some anomalies like Mimi. But it's not the same. It is not the same. Even women content creators, they in and out, whatever. You know what I'm saying? What up, Messi? I'm giving you all the content. All the content. All of it. Right now, I'm getting text messages. I'll be on the show doing all of my work and all of that. And next thing you know, I get a text message. My tummy hurts. Real talk. I get text message. What would you like for me to do about your tummy? What would you like for me to do about your tummy? I'm on a live stream. What would you like for me to do about your tummy?
I can't say it on the live stream.
What am I supposed to do with that information? I don't understand.
I can't say it on the live stream. We can talk about it later.
Oh my God. Bye.
Bye.
What am I supposed to do with that? You know Messi Michonne? I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that information. I'm not getting off my live stream. Is you crazy, Messi? You out of your mind. I'm in the studio. I'm working. I got things to do. I got things to do. You know what I'm saying? I'll send you some medicine. How about that? Somebody said you sleeping on the couch again tonight. Nigga, I don't sleep on couches. What you talking about? I might take a nap because I'm tired. What do you mean? I own the whole house. I don't sleep on couches. What's wrong with y'all? All right, so let me ask y'all a question and we're going to get started with the show. Are y'all the type of guys that'll let a woman say, you going to sleep on the couch tonight, and they throw a couch on the pillow and that's the end of it? You sleep on the couch before I ever sleep on the couch. Are you crazy? Man, you smoking crack. I pay the bills. I ain't never sleeping on the couch. Y'all smoking out of y'all mind. K. Cooper says, my tummy hurt. I'm taking off work. Oh my God. Get out of here. Get out of here. Y'all so weak. You crazy? Man, get out of here with that. Let me read some of these super chats and cash apps and let's get it popping, y'all. We got a lot to cover. We might cover 7, 8 subjects today. I don't know. It depends on how much y'all derail me. If y'all want me to get derailed, then we gonna cover like 5 or 6. If we stay focused, we can get a lot of this done. All right. I might hit y'all with a surprise show on Sunday. You never know. You never know. Shout out to Mike That Dude. I appreciate you, Mike That Dude. Thank you for holding me down. Cuddy says Messi can host it. She does a great job. Messi is great. I like Messi Michonne. I think she's awesome. I really do. I think she's objective. I think that she sees things and she calls it straight down the middle. I don't believe that she's biased. If she disagrees with me, then she'll say that she disagrees. And if she agrees with something or she looking objectively at it, she'll call it straight down the middle. I think that Messi Michonne is she just called it like she see it. I don't always necessarily agree with her because she may be missing some of the information, but at least she's honest and she's real about what she thinks. And so that's why I respect her. You know what I'm saying? I respect her as a content creator. I respect her. I genuinely do. I think it's very rare to see some people that are objective enough to actually call a spade, call a strike, call a ball. Shout out to Messi Michonne. Crimson says, good morning, Lord. I love that. Good morning, Lord Anton. I pray you have a phenomenal day today, making the best of these good overtime hours. Who got you working overtime? Anton said. Who got you working overtime, Crimson? Now, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in it. I believe in the ladies around me getting a lot of good naps, a lot of massages. Shout out to Snow Bunny Bag Chaser. I appreciate you. She said, you said you wanted your flowers. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know that women even worked overtime. I thought that was odd, man. Even when I was in the plant, women regularly turned down overtime. They always said that they wanted some more money and they said they turned it down overtime. And so I was thinking to myself, well, where are you getting the money from? It's got to be somewhere, some guy in the background. That's where y'all overtime come from, the men. Well, overtime come from the men. All right, y'all. Let me see what's happening in these streets and what we want to cover. And we're gonna try our hardest to not get derailed. Oh, I know where I want to start. I'm gonna start here. Give me a second. I want to start here. Because this whole week we've been covering spring break, we've been covering Houston, the rodeo, all of this stuff, right? Now I'll continue to read super chats throughout the show. Yeah, Fi Brown, I know you mess with Messi too. I'm gonna read that super chat in a second. So I want to get y'all thoughts on this.
Today is going to be the first day that I beat my daughter's ass. And before anybody come at me crazy, this morning I asked my daughter to carry her little sister's book bag to the car and put it in the trunk. And this is what she did. She decided to smash my back window. It's completely shattered. And I don't whoop my kids because I'm just not. I don't whoop my kids, man. Like, I don't want to harm them. But I waited. I dropped her off because I knew I was angry and I knew I was going to blow her clean out. So I'm going to wait until after school and I could calm my nerves a little bit. I could get my window fixed. Like, look at this. It's completely, she broke my window, bro. I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to Kohl's. I'm going to pick out a couple belts. Hopefully we can find some with some rhinestones on it. And I'm going to beat her mother ass so that she know, hey, the next time I'm mad at my mom, I'm not about to I'm not going to her car. I'm going to just say I'm mad. We're going to use our words because if you want to destroy my your parenting a child with ODD, I swear to God,
I've never in my life heard of ODD, and I had to look it up, right? It's called oppositional defiant disorder. That is what ODD is called. According to the Mayo Clinic, it is called oppositional defiant disorder. I've never heard of this in my entire life. I'm going to share my screen with y'all so y'all can see it for yourself and that you don't think that I'm crazy, because I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy. This is what ODD means. This is new for you and I. You know, we from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and we different. We thought that getting a belt would fix oppositional defiant disorder, and includes a frequent and ongoing pattern of anger, irritability, arguing, and defiance towards parents and other authority figures. So basically, rebellious, bad kids that haven't been disciplined properly are the kids that have operational or oppositional defiant disorder. And so now, this woman in the very beginning of this whole conversation says she has never disciplined her child, or she don't believe in it. Check it out. Let me say it again.
So today is going to be the first day that I beat my daughter's ass. And before anybody come at me crazy, this morning I asked my daughter to carry her little sister's book bag to the car and put it in the trunk. And this is what she did. She decided to smash my back window. It's completely shattered. And I don't whoop my kids because I'm just not.
I didn't know that it was a disorder that you can have, that you can be diagnosed with clinically, according to the Mayo Clinic, of your kids getting bad. So you telling me that y'all have now created a disorder for kids as a disobedient to their parents and don't know how to talk to adults properly? And this is the reason why the teachers are quitting. This is the reason why teachers are quitting. Facts, Dainty. Facts. The reason why teachers are quitting is because y'all keep gentle parenting and not really. If they busting your windows out, what you think they doing in school? They don't fear nobody. They don't believe that anything is gonna happen to them because you're gonna do what you want to do. It's never gonna be any. It's never going to be a consequence for the actions. So you can tell your daughter, hey, take your little sister's book bag outside too and put it in the car. And they're going to bust the whole window out on the car and then ride silent to school. And all you going to do is cry about it on the internet. What you telling us for? I agree. Belt to ass therapy works beautifully. Why are you telling us? Why y'all? Let me ask y'all mamas something, because I'm not going to do another imitation of how y'all be doing y'all internet stuff. Why do you think it's important for you to talk to us on this instead of fixing what you got going on inside of your own household? So what is this going to do? All you doing, honestly, is putting more visibility and heat on yourself. And where's the daddies? Where is the daddies? Where the daddy at? Where's the fathers to fix this oppositional disordered correction belt to ass? Where is the daddies at? And y'all sitting here, and I was going through her comments, and the people were saying, girl, valid crash out, delete this and do what you got to do. Honestly, I think in a lot of instances, Crimson, it's too late. It's too late. Once they get past a certain age and you trying to re-correct them, it's too late. They don't hear you because you've already taught them to a gentle parent. And, oh, listen, just calm down, calm down, calm down. Use your words. Use your words. She said, and next time she mad at her mama, she going to be taught to use her word. What you mean? You don't have permission to be mad at me. You a child. How you don't have permission to be mad at me as a child. Now, what you can do is after you get this belt, you can go in your room and you can scream in your pillow and hope that I don't hear it. Because if I hear it, then that means that the devil ain't gone. You can silently, when you getting in the tub, to rinse off your wounds, your war wounds that you just got in the room, and you can be whispering under your breath and saying, I can wait to see when I grow older. When I get older, I'm going to run away. You can complain under your breath like children do, and then we going to be laughing outside the door like, ha ha, high five. That's what you got permission to do. You got permission to pretend like you're going to run away when you get older. You don't have permission to be upset with me as a child. Because I feed you, I clothe you, I'm preventing you from. I just did a story yesterday about the demons that's getting sentenced to prison. They handed out 25 years for a first offense. I'm saving you from the devil. I'm saving you from heartache. I'm saving you from getting a wet ass. I'm saving you from embarrassing us on Houston spring break. I'm saving you from Daytona Beach. I'm saving you from STDs. I'm saving you from yourself. But in order for me to do that, this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. When y'all then want to either hand the kid over to the father or now you want to start being a tougher parent. It's too late. It is too late. And I hate this for y'all, honestly. For y'all single mothers that are out here every day I hate this for y'all. I hate it. Because by the time they get to the age of high school and stuff like that, honestly, they should be starting to mellow out a little bit. They should start to see life differently. You know what? This ain't even really worth it. You know what? I don't really think I want to, like, I don't really want to go to that. Listen, bro, by the time I was getting up out of high school, I was over it. I was straight up over it. I was like, man, the stuff y'all trying to get into, that's childish. You trying to do, that's a little, man, you going to jail for that, bro. I ain't trying to get in there. Hey, man, let's stay up out of the streets, bro. Let's figure out how we can get off to college somewhere or go and get a job and get some money. It was time to get money. I wasn't about none. Man, by the time I was getting out of high school, I was trying to figure out where the money reside, where the money reside. I had already seen and did all of the things that a lot of people was hoping to go off to college and get into. I was thinking, man, I ain't trying to embarrass my parents out here, man. I'm not trying to catch a case. I ain't trying to be out here getting, before it was Me Too. It's like, man, this is stale. It was just old. It was already old. We had seen it. We had done it. And it was like, okay, how much more can we do before we move on to the next play? The next play is some money. Where the money at? Where the money at, bro? Real talk. My brother was like, man, you know how much money I made in the plant? I was like, that sounds like the play, bro. Can you get me in the plant so I can go and get some money? I ain't trying to be sitting out here hanging with y'all. Real talk. Man, when I was young, when I was a child, I think I disrespected my father one time in my entire life. I learned that day, nah. I almost thought Dad hated me the way that he disciplined me at that day. I said, wait a minute, is this love? Or is this, I'm starting to rethink it. This is different than the way Mom get on me. I never disrespected my father again. It was over. Even when I became an adult. Even when I was a grown man and I was clearly, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would have been a tussle for him. It was never a word of disrespect. Because I honored him at that point, because it was just like, yo, I thank you for teaching me the hard lesson when I was younger, because this is the way that you're supposed to treat your parents, bro. I never disrespected my father ever again. But y'all gentle parenting, y'all playing games, y'all messing around. Even, bro, as an adult, let me tell you how much respect I have for my father. As an adult, when I would get into something, or if I was like teetering on some, like, man, I would still rethink, like, but I don't want my dad to be mad at me. I don't want my dad to find out, bro. Like, because that's my best friend, because he had became my best friend at that point. And I was just like, nah. Nope. I'm about to read that super chat. So it was just like, bro, and I'm going to show the guy's perspective. Don't worry, ladies. I'm going to also show the guy's perspective. Let me play this guy too.
I'm sick of this.
Finna come to y'all real quick on some real shit right quick. Parents, listen, man. Cause you could this coming from a father who been that day when I'm gonna get y'all, I'm gonna pour y'all into my life a little bit, my personal shit, right? Just because I told you, gotta help somebody out. So me and a good friend of mine got into a fight several years ago. Real fist fight. Because I said he need to do better as a father. I said that. Well, I was wrong. I was wrong about that, and I can admit that now. And I had to call him and admit that to him. I mean, we cool and shit. You know how we as men, we squashed it after the fight. We just had to hit though. As men, we had to hit. But I called him a couple weeks ago. Actually, no, he came to the house. I'm sorry, he came over to the house and we chopped the top down. And I had to apologize to him. And the man played the pill. I said, I'm sorry, bro. I was wrong. And I'm gonna tell you why I said that, because my son been with me since day one. He don't know nothing else. Well, around November last year, 2025, my son called himself bucking at school. And when I say my son is a scholar, when I say all A's, B's, this boy smart as shit. He writes a letter at school talking about he could be a sociopath. But let me tell you what he did. He writes this so that somebody can see it so they can call me. Now, this boy got his everything, all his everything in his home. He wants for nothing. You get what I'm saying? When I tell you got everything he can want, everything that he want, he got it. Because he do good. This is out of the blue. My son never gave me no issues, no nothing, no trouble, no issues whatsoever. Right? So the counselor calls me. Now, I don't know about y'all. I'm from the old school, and I tell y'all got to hear all this. I'm from the old school. I don't believe, like my dad told me, you a representation of me as soon as you leave that house. Don't counselor better not call me in no defect, none of that shit. Oh, it's gonna be on your ass. So my son knew that. So the counselor calls me and say, your son wrote a letter about being a sociopath. So I get my son on the phone. I'm like, what the fuck wrong with you, nigga? My son bucks and say, Dad, I'm a man. And I'm you know, I don't feel like I got to explain this to you because I'm a man. Ooh, okay. That while he was on the MARTA bus. He says, fuck that, I ain't coming home. He goes to my mama's house. He been in my mama's house in November. I cut his phone off. I don't know how he talking. I haven't spoken to my son since November. And I won't speak to him. I love my son with all of me. I'll do anything for him when it comes to a certain extent. But what I won't do is take disrespect. And I had to sit there and call my friend because he, you know, as a man, I sit here and did everything for this boy. Sacrifice money, sacrifice time, sacrifice everything to be a parent. Hands on every day in the house, hands on. His mama ain't shit. Mama ain't never been shit. He ain't see his mama for goddamn 8 years. She was in Detroit, ain't seen his mama. I'm telling y'all everything. It's the truth. Ain't seen his mama. But yet and still, you know who ass he kissed? His mama's. I had to call my partner and say, bro, I was wrong to come at you like that, not knowing your situation. As men, you have to be a man about your shit. And when you wrong, you got to be man up with that shit. I had to come to him and apologize because, see, here I am doing all this shit, being a super dad, and this nigga give me his ass to kiss. But love on this mama like she do everything. Like she the greatest piece of shit. Like she do everything. And this bitch ain't seen, this bitch in Detroit ain't got on a Greyhound, a flight, a car to see this nigga in 8 years. Now my mama, the same mama who was tough on me, hard as fuck on me, would never let me run from shit. You gonna let him run? You gonna let him make his bed hard, but run from it? That was the saying we used to get. If you make your bed hard, you lay in it. Now this nigga done made his bed hard, so instead of him coming to this punishment, cause he finna get hit, he already know we gonna get in the ring, nigga. So instead of getting to your punishment like you supposed to as men, you gonna let him run from it? Cause he your grandbaby? So fuck the skills and the teachings you taught me as a child to be a man. Fuck them teachings when it come to your grandbaby. So I'm tell y'all like this. I did this on my mama and my son the same day. Now some people may say that's too harsh. But like I say, it's not for me because I know who I am and I know who my mama was. I know who raised me. But what you ain't gonna do is sit here and tell me the same teachers and principles that you taught me that made me the man I am today, that you told me I'm a good man, it don't apply to him. That's why I tell you, fuck them kids. I love my son, but I tell you like this, it'll be a cold day in hell before he get a call from Monday Nathaniel Champion boys.
So now he's mad at his mother because his son ran to his mother's house, who was his grandmother. Mother is not in his real mama obviously is not in the picture. She up here in Detroit, obviously hanging with us. you know what I'm saying, having a good time with all of her friends and family. The father said, listen, I need to handle him how I need to handle him. And his mother, which is the child's grandmother, is protecting him. So now the father is pissed off and he cut off his mama and he cut off the son. Bro, all of this is messy, in my opinion. Shout out to Messy Michonne. All of this is messy, in my opinion. And all of this is a microcosm of a bigger problem. And the bigger problem is that there is no community, like I've been saying. There is no community, and we do not have strong two-parent households. If we were having strong, listen, you got to have buy-in from both parents. It can't be no days off. When she may be a little bit off, or if she not resonating in that kid ear, then it's on me. If it ain't on me, then it's on her. It is what it is, or it's on both of us 100% of the time. You can't have no time off with your kid, bro. Sometimes y'all got to be good cop, bad cop. Sometimes y'all got to be bad cop, good cop. It ain't no running away. It ain't no running away. Ain't none of that. And he's struggling with his kid in the same way that the women is struggling with their kids because they don't have a strong two-parent household. And I know that y'all think that y'all know better than the statistics and the people that did it masterfully and all of that. But you have to have a strong two-parent household. Otherwise, it's never going to work under no circumstance. It's never going to work. As long as they're able to run to grandma and grandma is able to protect them, ain't no helping them. Everybody got to be on the same page. Everybody got to be turning the page at the same time. And that's what's happening in these streets. But my bigger question, as usual, because honestly, I think that these people, I don't think the cry for help is happening from the kids. I think the cry for help is happening from the parents. Because what parent goes on the internet, bro? I don't care what I'm dealing with my kid. You know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to go to the internet and tell on myself about A, what I'm about to do to the kid, and B, how bad the kid is. This is a new group of people. As much as they want to talk tough, no, man, me and my son gonna have to hit when we get on it. I feel you, big dog. But what you telling us for? Go over to your mama house and go and handle that shit. I mean, go and handle that stuff. I apologize. I'm working on it. Go and handle it on the low. And no, I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all telling y'all story and making sure that we all know what you got going on as far as how bad y'all kids are, because it makes for phenomenal content. But honestly, in real life, it's like, what are y'all doing? You recorded it, rewatched it, cut out the bad parts on the end and the beginning, and then you uploaded it. What are you doing? Why are you telling us? Go talk to them. I don't know why these people are telling us. Is that from a rumor? Anton, do you have a son today in 2026? I don't think so. I thought I only had one child. Hold on, let me check my vasectomy and see if I got some kids. They told me that yesterday. They told me yesterday, they said, Anton, you got some kind of illegitimate grown son out here. I said, what? Where he at though? Tell him to come holler at me. And you know what the funniest part about this is, like, every 2 or 3 years I have to address the same thing over and over again. Y'all want me to address that again? Want me to give y'all the story? This is why the internet is messed up. I will tell you, 98% of everything you see on the internet is all bullshit. I got a half brother. Okay. 98% of everything that I do on the internet or that I see on the internet is all bullshit. 100%. Y'all want me to give y'all that story? It's Friday, so we could talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. Y'all want the story or no? Anton is my biological father. This is not a derailment. It's just a story. Ari says she wants the story. Okay, Ari. You look pretty, so I'm gonna tell you the story. All right, here's the story. I know I already told y'all, but some people may be new, so they may not understand. So a while ago, some years ago, way back, before the pandemic and all of that, I had did a vlog because I live my life like an open book. And I did a vlog where I was basically saying that my son this, my son that, whatever, so on and so forth. I have always been the type of person that has been a community focused person. So not only my nephew's friends, and also my little cousins and all of that stuff. Anyways, long story short, it was a girl in my family who had some kids, and had some trouble with her kids or whatever. And so the kids had went to all three kids. She had three different children, and all three of them had went to like different relatives' house because we had took them in or whatever. Hopefully this is the last time, but I'll give y'all the game. And so they went to different people's houses. One of them had went to my grandmother's house. Now my grandmother was already old, and she had raised her kids and all of that, but he was basically going to school in that district. So he was staying at her house or whatever, and he was still like acting out and being rebellious and all of this other stuff. So I went over there and they was telling me about it, and they were saying, yo, he ain't acting good. And by that time he was in high school or whatever. And so I said, all right, well, come in. I was talking to him and he was like, man, they just don't understand me or whatever. And so I let him crash on my couch. And so he just stayed on my couch for like a long time. It was like weeks, if not months at that point. And I was like, bro, where are your benefits? Because he ain't had no healthcare coverage or none of that stuff. So I just kind of like took him on as like a son. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of calling me pops, all of that stuff, pops and everything. And so I just kind of took him in and I treated him like a son, because anything that my family got, anything that we got, he was already family, through the girl that's in my family. But anything that we did, he did. And so I was paying for his senior stuff, his senior dues, all of that stuff. And he was about to graduate from high school. And I was like, yo, we might have to adopt him in order to keep him on our healthcare coverage so that, he can have the healthcare coverage up to the point that he was 26 and he had just got into community college and all of that other stuff. So I took him on as my son, kind of sort of like a makeshift son, because we had took him into the family. And eventually, he grew up and he got to the point to where he felt like he wanted to step out on his own and do his own thing. And I was like, all right, cool. Let's keep it moving. But it was kind of just like a nickname, like, what's going on, son? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And it just kind of stuck. So me taking on my cousin's child and helping to raise him to where he gets to the point to where he can sustain himself was the whole idea behind that. But if y'all asking me directly, if I have a son or if I have some kind of illegitimate child out there, I don't. I got one kid, which is my daughter, and I got a lot of sons. Like, I'm the father of a lot of people on YouTube. And I do a lot of mentorship and I do a lot of helping other people, young people that's in my family, my nephews, all of that stuff. But in a general sense, physically, like, no, I don't have a son. No, I don't have any kids out of wedlock. So a lot of times they go and they look at these videos and they make it out to be whatever it is that they want. They put whatever spin on it. They put whatever narrative on it so that they could create more content, because I run the content space. So anything Anton related, of course this is not going to get clipped, because this is not salacious. This is not something that you can spin a narrative of. When you add content, I get it, bro. I get it. Like, that's what it is. Like, anybody could say anything and paint the narrative based off of a clip, but they don't pull the full context. That's what the internet is today. The internet is an amalgamation of clips stitched together to paint a picture versus getting the full context, right? So if you could take this and say, okay, well, we're going to add this as a part of the narrative, and man, this nigga ain't Christian, got baby mamas all over the place. Because it's out of his own worth, out of his own mouth. See, he said he had the son. See, he had a son. He said it. But you got to get the full context. But nobody cares about the context. Nobody cares about the research. And that's just the way it is. It's what we signed up for. You're not going to get people to be objective like Missy Michonne in particular. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the way that it is. The truth is, that's why I said 98% of what y'all see on the internet is BS. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. So it is what it is. There's a story. There you go. So, but again, the people that get it, and the people that don't, they never wanted to get it in the first place. So I tell people all the time, stop trying to spend all your time and life force trying to convince people that don't like you anyway to think differently about you. They don't care. They don't care about that. They focus on the people that actually is rocking with you and support you, and spend your energy on that. God know, you know, your family know, your people know, they know. How is the young man doing today? He's doing great. He's doing great. All of them is doing great. They all got good jobs. Some of them work for the government. Some of them is I don't want to say what his position is. They've grown up to be really, really good young men. I'm proud of them. Some of them just recently got married. They all doing really well. They all doing really, really well, bro. So 1 second they say you get no box, and same breath they say you got an outside son. I'm married. My relationship is phenomenal. I've never cheated. You've never seen anybody that can have any proof, or anybody that has ever come out and say, yep, Anton cheated with me. Yep, Anton bust me down. They can use AI. They can use all of this shit to manipulate all of this stuff. But the fact of the matter is that I'm Teflon time. I'm Teflon time. You can make all of the excuses. You can make the insinuating. The men are more gossipy than the women. And it just is what it is. Like, nobody has anything whatsoever on me at all. And that's how you deal with it. You cook it and you address it and you keep it moving. Everybody is good in my life. Everybody is in a great space. Oh, all right, y'all. Let's get into the show. Somebody said, I hope you get somebody page knocked down. I'm not trying to take down nobody's page, bro. I'm not interested in trying to take down nobody's page. Let me say this, bro, and I'm a address this, and then we keep it moving. Why is it talking? Is that an ad? Oh, that's an ad over there. Let me say this. I don't want anybody to lose their pages, their incomes, none of that. Would it be nice if people was honest and told the truth? Yeah, that's a nice to have. But I'm not trying to get I don't want nobody's page gone. I don't want nobody to lose their job. I don't want nobody to lose their income. I don't want nobody to mess up their bag. Now, I may have a disagreement or I may not necessarily like somebody. But I'm not about to chase nobody's page. I've never, ever, I've never said it in the Discord. I've never said it in the Patreon. I've never said it on these platforms. I've never said it behind the scenes, none of that. I've never, ever in my life ever said for anybody to go and do anybody page dirty. I'm against that. I don't rock with it, and I'm not for that. I don't want nothing to do with that. I would never, ever say to take somebody's stuff down at all. That's not my life. I'm not trying to get nobody page ever done nothing. So, but that's just me. Everybody don't play by the same rules, and everybody is not doing the same thing. And so you got to kind of, take it how you take it. And I don't expect for anybody to play by the same rules as me. So that's just the game. That's the game we play. All right, y'all. Let's keep it moving. Let me read some of these super chats. Yo, AD Messi Michonne is a freaking rock star. And next up, y'all, she puts on a phenomenal show daily. Everybody go subscribe to her, please. I wish I could sign her. And that would be a conflict of interest, right? Mario says, I worked in EC for 10 years and I'm familiar with those behaviors and diagnoses. I had enough and I've been working IT for the last 7 years. Get the heck up out of there, bro. Get the heck up out of there. Hold on. Let me get back to this. I see this in the chat. Let me see this. Dang, I thought that I had seen something. Somebody said they wanted me to wish somebody a happy birthday. I thought I had seen something. Oh, well, I must have missed it. My bad. This is one of the reasons I got out of the classroom. The parents do not believe in chastening their children accordingly, yet they're the same women that will be the ones to hit on a grown man. It's crazy, bro. It is absolutely crazy. It's bad out here. It really is bad. Just Brown Girl in America says, I told my defiant twin she don't get her attitude in check. She better learn how to fight adults. What up, Just the Brown Girl in America? What's going on? Larissa says, hi, AD. I love the show. I want to wish my husband, Kelly, a happy 10th anniversary. I know he watches your show daily. What up, Kelly, man? Happy anniversary from your wife, Larissa. Yeah. Shout out to all of the ladies holding it down for the good guys that's really taking care of business and out here trying to make sure that they run up a bag for y'all. Shout out to Larissa. Larissa in the building. Kelly, what up, though? Shout out to you, man. Happy anniversary. I hope y'all celebrate it and y'all get to run up another 60 years, another 60 on top of that 10. Corey Peterkin says, that's why you winning, bro. Manny Plays PC says, I had a flare-up of ODD when I was a kid, but my mother took care of that real quick. Had me looking like Jesus and the Passion. Just a brown girl in America says, when my 30-year-old ran away, I almost let her be gone. Wait a minute. You can't run away at 30, though. At 30, you already out there, right? But then I said, nah, I found her at a friend's house and almost had to drag the mama for trying to interfere with me getting my baby so I can drag her butt. But she 30. You should have just let her be gone. You should have let her be gone. Just a brown girl in America. Rest in peace, Chuck Norris. Yeah, rest in peace, Chuck Norris. I don't think that that's something that I need to cover, though. You should have let her suffer. Sometimes at that age, they ain't learned, so you got to let them suffer. All right, y'all. I want to get to this real quick, this Kathy Hochul situation. She has some stuff to say, and I'm thinking she was speaking indirectly to Zohran Mamdani. And this is what she was saying about New York residents and why she's not raising taxes.
It's definitely a problem. No state has seen more wealth leave in 10 years than New York. Mike, that soundbite is shocking, to say the least.
Almost comical. But the crazy part is, I mean, she's an intelligent woman, supposedly. No one's coming back unless you change the policies that cause them to leave in the first place. Right. So just to come back because the governor, who won't change any of her policies, wants you to come back. The high net worth people are smart enough to go where their money is going to be treated best, and that's Florida. So I don't know. You have to do better than what she's doing. You want to keep people in New York to pay taxes for her social programs. You have to offer them something. But keeping it status quo, you're going to get more of the exact same, and that's people leaving quickly.
Jackie, what makes me nervous about this is we always talk about watch what I do, not what I say. She's saying a lot of things because she's in an election year, but the actions haven't changed.
I don't believe her.
I don't either.
She endorsed Mamdani. She realizes right now that she needs revenue to be reelected and to keep things afloat so that she doesn't look like the total utter disaster that she actually is. Mm-hmm. But that's a separate issue.
Let me show y'all what Kathy Hochul is under fire about, okay? This is specifically what she had to say.
Needs people who are high net worth to support the generous social programs that we want to have in our state, right? Now, there are some patriotic millionaires who stepped up. Okay, cut me the checks. I mean, just if you want to be supportive, but maybe the first step should be go down to Palm Beach and see who you can bring back home, because our tax base has been eroded. So I philosophically don't have a problem. It is like I have to look at the fact that we are in competition with other states who have less of a tax burden on their corporations and their individuals. And I would say remote work changed everything. There were people who could only work in an office in Manhattan or work in New York State, and they were captives to our state. They were going to stay. We saw that that's not the case. I mean, you know, Wall Street businesses looking at Texas, they're not going there because they have a nicer governor. I know that.
So what Kathy Hochul is finally addressing is the things that we have been talking about on the Millionaire Morning Show for quite some time now. We don't get into Nick Shirley. I'm going to get into that in a second. But what she's talking about is the things that we've been talking about here is quite some time now. The same way that there's that competition is good. Where you seeing competition from is in the states, because every state is not created equal. Every state has a certain tax rate for businesses. Every state has a strategy for taxing the citizens. And when you've seen Zohran Mamdani pop up, right? And of course he's going to get elected because a lot of the people that vote in New York, obviously, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're talking about. And they elected them based off of talking points instead of picking a person that is going to be best for the state, because they don't understand the financial aspect of it. What they're doing is they are basically eroding their own tax base. So you are sitting there on Section 8 with food stamps, sitting there talking about, I want more rich people money. Well, guess what? The one group of people that have the ability to make the adjustment is rich people. And you know where they went? A small percentage of them went over to Vegas. Another small percent of them went over to Arizona. Another small percentage of them went over to Nashville, right? There was a huge wave of people that were in California that had resources that moved to Nashville. Why? Because Tennessee doesn't have state taxes. It's a swath of people that moved to Texas, and it's a crazy amount of people that moved to Florida. Now, some people will say, yeah, but New York is Wall Street, Manhattan, all of this stuff. Don't mean that they don't still have ties. It doesn't mean that they can't go and visit. Don't mean that they don't probably still have a property there. But if you think that they were not going to at some point get fed up and say, well, listen, why do you keep trying to take all of my money when I can just, because see, if the whole United States of America said, nope, you got to deal with this no matter what, then that would be one thing. But it's 50 different states, which means that other states are looking at New York billionaires and millionaires, and they saying, let me recruit you. And so what do? It's cheaper for a rich person to build a home in Florida than to pay that amount in taxes for the right to be able to say that I've contributed to people mismanaging the money in the government. You're not hearing me. It's cheaper for them to put a gob load of money into buying or building a home in Florida or Texas or Nashville or whatever than it is for them to pay that amount or more in taxes to New York for the sake of somebody saying, I'm going to take your money. So what is the governor's jobs, right? What are these governors' jobs? The governors of all of these states, Gavin Newsom, they've lost over $1 trillion in net worth in the last few months alone. What is their job? The same job that there is when it comes to the CEOs of some of the biggest companies in the United States of America. A, to put people in place to manage things effectively, whether it's the budget or to push legislation through. And B, to recruit and to make it a business-friendly environment for businesses and residents alike. Their goal is to try to recruit as many people to move to the state as possible. That's how they get their federal funds, and that's how they generate their revenue in order to keep the bills paid. But if you're losing hundreds of billions of dollars in revenue, how do you think that you're going to pay for city services? I keep telling people all the time, the people that pay the most taxes, and I know y'all don't believe it because they just been sitting there taking it like a G on the chin, but it's the truth. The people that pay the most taxes are the 1%. They pay the majority of the taxes in every city and every state across the United States of America. And when you lose them, you lose jobs, you lose revenue, you lose income, you lose the ability to recruit and have tourism, you lose infrastructure, you lose funding for police, schools, all of that. That's why Mom Donnie then said, well, we're going to have to raise taxes at least 10%, property taxes at 10%. You see the property taxes exploding over there in Crook County and in Chicago. It's not doing it because they just having fun raising taxes. It's because they keep proposing these programs that they got to stick to that they can't implement, and they're going to still push the programs through, but somebody got to pay for it. It's not free for the sake of being free. This is the cost. This is who it's going to come from. If we can't get it from there, we're going to get it from you. And that's how the middle class suffers. The middle class don't suffer because they are overtly saying that they're going to overtax you. The middle class suffers is because they're going to pass down a tax to you because they still want to do whatever programs that they want to do, but they can't get it from the people because the people that truly used to pay for everything, they moving, they leaving. They leaving. And that is why you see in the state and in the cities alike, you see a huge, massive budget deficit in almost every single major blue city, because that never works. You cannot tax your way to wealth. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It's not a thing.
there's something playing out behind the scenes. David and I commiserate all the time about Mamdani, and we read this and we read that, and can you believe he wants to do this? And, it'll blow your mind, and it's really disheartening, especially for people who live here. But I was reading an interesting article that was we've been talking about Donald Trump threatening federal funding and to pull some of that. I've been waiting for that paddle, to come kind of smack Mamdani and the city. But I was reading about a couple of lawsuits that gave me a little hope. Their Gateway project is a project where they want to be able to connect New York and New Jersey even further with more tunnels. That is stalled in court. That would be partially federally funded. The 2nd Avenue subway past 96th Street, which is where it ends right now, there was an expansion plan to take it up much further than that. That is tied up in court as well. So federal funds are not flowing here the way that they once were without any questions being asked. And I think that that's sort of like the story that nobody is talking about silently, but that is going to end up being what makes everybody do a little 180 the way Kathy Hochul has done.
David, you're kind of nodding along.
Well, because again, Jackie and I have been commiserating with each other about this for a while. But when she said the first tape that we played, where she said, "I don't need you, go to Florida," and that was in 2022. From 2012 to 2022, New York lost 1.7 million people that going to places like Florida. So as she was saying that, we had lost the people. That's the money that we've lost. But the people that make that money are the most important part of that equation. And so she has not gotten it for a while. She did finally get some knock on the head that made her realize that we can't go on by that. And that was probably the budget. But then you have Mamdani. I mean, the thing, I was born here. I've lived here for 46 years because I moved out when I was a kid, but came back because I loved it. So I've been through all kinds of stuff. I've been through the various crime waves, 9/11, the pandemic, et cetera. But I never thought I would leave. Now I'm beginning to feel that way. And people who've been here for a long time are beginning to. I love this city. I know people out there think I'm crazy for doing this, but folks, I've got my roots here, and you don't want to be chased out of the place that you have your roots.
Quality of life has really eroded.
Quality of life has eroded. So there are a lot. And then you have these 11 tax proposals that Mamdani has come out with, most of which, with the exception of the property tax, he can't do without her support. Right? Is she going to support him in order to get the left wing to support her bid for re-election? I wouldn't bet against it. I wouldn't bet against it. It goes directly against what she just said, but she folds like a cheap suit.
So there's another.
The problem with politicians is that they'll do anything to get elected. I don't think that Kathy Hochul or anybody outside of Bernie Sanders and AOC ever actually cared about Zohran Mamdani. And that's my honest to God assessment. I don't believe any of them actually liked him, but they had to get in line because the people actually rocked with him. And so for them to have buy-in and support on a campaign trail in which an election year was coming up, they had to embrace it and endorse it, but they never messed with him. They never rocked with him. And this is why you now see a conversation happening, because they know that when they look at that budget, it doesn't align with what it is that Mamdani was selling. So now they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do you give over into the full communist left-wing socialism agenda, knowing that it's going to decimate the people and decimate your state in order to get reelected? Or do you go and you start to have more of a Republican, conservative, lower taxes, let's not raise taxes, at the very least, let's not raise taxes on the people that we are needing the most, that we're driving out. And the real balancing act is trying to sell them. So let me tell you what Kathy Hochul's job is, right? Kathy Hochul's job is to this. And this is why we look at Trump in a completely different light than what we look at a lot of these Democrats or even previous Republicans or previous Democrats, right? Kathy Hochul's job is to lie to the people and say, no, I support you. I believe in what Mamdani is doing. And now she got to go to the people, right? So when she goes to the billionaires are going to come to her and say, hey, wait a minute. I thought you was on our side. You know how much we pay in taxes? Man, we about to leave. And so she then got to say to the billionaires, no. Listen, I'm not going to prove it. I'm not going to let taxes raise. I get it. Listen, help me to become governor. I promise you I got your back. And on the surface to the people, she's saying, listen, we love Mom Donnie. I love his idea of free buses and child care and health care for everybody. But then she got to pander to the people that actually pay the taxes and keep her whole state afloat, because otherwise they're going to leave and she'll be left with something that's going to decimate the people. That's where the balancing act is, right? That's why we actually villainize and respect Trump. Why we don't have no middle road. While people are not indifferent about Trump, but they are very much on one side or the other. Because on one side, you'll say, oh, I hate him. I got Trump derangement syndrome because this is whatever it is, whatever. No, he's just telling you the honest to God truth of what it is what his objective is. Hey, I want all of the illegal migrants gone. I'm not trying to leave one here. Now, what I will do, this is what Trump said. What I will do is I'll go after the most heinous ones first if the states work with me. If not, then it's up. Then it's up. Hey, man, listen, I want to tear up all of these countries, and I think that we need to lower taxes, and we're going to put it in the big, beautiful bill, and we need to build the wall, and we're going to say this. So like them or love them, here's the difference. Like them or love them, you get what you see, and you see what you get, and people like the truth. They just like for you to be they don't even have to agree with you, but they know what they're dealing with, and they know what kind of adjustments that they're going to make. But when you get these Kathy Hochuls and all of these other people, they got to play the game. So now they got to be front facing with you because they understand that their demographic and their constituents are not going to adjust. They're not going to like what they're saying. But then she going to get on Politico and she going to do the interview and she going to say, listen, we in competition. She going to tell you the truth. We're in competition with Florida. More people that got more money that can leave and will leave, they will go to Florida. They in Palm Beach. They're not even in Miami. They in the Keys. Why? Because they can, and the tax incentives allow for them to be able to, and the weather is already better. The weather is already better. We don't even need them to go down there and visiting too much because then they go, because they got to love, right? That's the thing that New York and California keep depending on. They depending on the fact that you got a heart. Love is a heart for love. And what he said, and I know they depending on you to love the Knicks. Oh man, I'm a New York Knicks fan. To have an affinity for your borough. I was born and raised here. It's nothing like New York. They want you to have some kind of cerebral, emotional attachment to the city because this is where you was born and raised. You got to stay here. I admit, I get it. I'm the same way with Detroit. I was able to thug it out to the point to where I actually see the transformation and we benefited from sticking it out. But it was one point where I think that anybody that had money, it was a lot of people that ran away. There was a lot of people that ran away. Oh, man, dog, I love my city, man. What up, dog? Boy, would you? It's only so much you can take, though. You know what I'm saying? And I feel y'all. I feel California. They stayed as long as they could. They endured. And then they started saying, well, we're going to put a wealth tax on y'all. And if you sell your house for more than this, then we're going to have to tax you again. And then the people start following you home from the luxury stores and breaking in your house. Rihanna said, man, I ain't got time for this BS. I'm out of here. Rihanna jumped on she had 12 cars of luggage. Somebody shot up Rihanna. They said, we can't even get basic police services where they're not shooting up our house. She jumped on the private. You don't know where Rihanna is. Rihanna is somewhere. Probably already got The Devil Wears Prada, watching it on DVD. It's only so much you can take until you hit that limit. And then it's usually something that happens that pushes you over the edge. You know what? I ain't got to deal with this. I ain't got to deal with it. I ain't got to deal with it. I ain't got to be bothered with it. It's places where I can go, where I can be amongst my peers, and I ain't got to worry about this nonsense, and I'm going to save myself some money. Why? You start questioning yourself. Why am I paying for services that I'm not getting, and then I can't even be safe with my family? Somebody shot up her house. She never commented. She never said nothing. Next day, you seen a whole row of Yukon Denali's and Escalades taking the luggage over to the private jet. Come on, kids, time to go. We ain't got to deal with this nonsense no more. And the people that can go somewhere, guess what? They bust a move. And the people that's stuck and you can't go nowhere because your job there, your kids is in school there, the baby daddy that you love so much, your boyfriend, his job because he an Amazon worker, or he worked for the local plant, he can't uproot and leave, and then you'd have to sell your house, and then your family is there, you feeling some type of way. That ain't the play. I know people that got money and say, oh, they make planes for that. They make planes for my brother, my youngest brother. He said, man, this winter is harsh. When his kids grew up, he was like, hey, Tampa, what y'all talking about down there in Tampa? Every time I go down there to visit them in Tampa, I'll be like, Because most of the time I visit them when it's cold outside here. I go down to Tampa, I'm like, whoo, y'all living different down here. But I still got that affinity for my city. I ain't nothing like Detroit. Ain't nothing like the city. And then in my mind, I'll be thinking in my mind, man, one day I might run for mayor of this mug, or I might do this. I got to stick around because I started thinking about all of the different things you're involved with and all of that stuff. I got on the plane, man. Last time I'm going to move on to the next part of the show. I'm going to read the super chats. I got on the plane with Big Sean. When I was out there, what was I out there for? It wasn't the Corey thing. That wasn't it. It was it the Corey situation? It might have been the comedian. Last time I was flying, or it might have been from, was it when I was in La Jolla? I don't know. One of the last two times that I was out Vegas, California, that area or whatever. And I'm going down the runway and I see Big Sean. And I was thinking to myself, I said, you do live out here in LA, don't you? He was like, yeah. And I was like, So when you see Big Sean at the Pistons game, or when he in the city, or when he's shooting some stuff, he not here the whole time. He about to fly back right out there to Los Angeles, bro. He going right back out there to California. He going right back out there to California. At least in the wintertime. Come in, do some stuff, and then he'd be right back out there in California. Most people that are from these cities are not still in the city. It's very rare. It's very rare where you see people that are from the cities or from the states that they originally from. I don't think nobody from Cash Money or No Limit is in New Orleans or anywhere near Louisiana. The only person that's hanging out in Louisiana is 50 Cent and Shreveport and Zion Williamson. That's it. That's it. Those are the only people I think that's hanging out in Louisiana. And if you're coming down from Mardi Gras, I don't think nobody that is from Louisiana, Boosie, none of them is still in Louisiana, bro. Somebody said, how come you never have any professional athletes on your live podcast, Anton? Because I'm not interested in exploiting my friends in real life for content. I ran into Joe Dumars in the Delta Club at DTW also. If you're friends with somebody in real life, why would you look to exploit them for content, bro? When you got your own motion, you don't have to use everybody else in order to continue to get content. I was friends with Brian McKnight for years. And then he hit me up and said, yo, man, I think I want to tell my story, or I want to get some stuff off of my chest. And I said, you sure? He said, yeah. And I said, all right, cool. And then that's when we did the interview. But we just like, we really connect and we really check on each other. We really kick it in real life. I was just talking to Jason Wilson yesterday. We kick it in real life on some regular stuff. I talk to different people in Detroit all the time. It's not about that. Like, because I actually like value the real friendship in real life. If they ever wanted to, and I would ask them why, and then we could figure it out from there. But it's not that big of a deal. They cool. They just regular people like everybody else. Just a brown girl in America. I was just talking to Marcellus Wiley. Just a brown girl in America says she wasn't 30 at the time. Oh, okay. I got you. That makes sense. Shadow Dragon TV says, you hear about our boy Nick Shirley doing God's work in California. The hospice game is diabolical. Let's go and check it out. Let me see. Nick Shirley.
This is the sound of hospice money. Could you just answer the question, what's the need for a 1,000% increase in hospice care here inside of LA? Do you have the paperwork to enroll a little boy by the name of Joey?
You don't know what's going on?
Well, it says there's 14 children enrolled here on the state of California. That there is $6,000 per beneficiary. Can you give us any explanation? Where can we open a hospice at? Get a Maybach just like you.
California may have the largest amount of fraud in the country, as California is the state with the highest taxes and collects more money than any other state in America. It is filled with fraud.
You know what's funny about this? You know how I know that content creators and YouTubers that's really doing real work is the ones that got the motion now? Is because when I went to this and somebody sent this to me and I opened it up, you know what I seen along the side? You know how they give recommended? I seen other news networks now flying out to California to go and figure out where the fraud is. What? So wait a minute. Y'all couldn't do it when before Nick Shirley was doing? Look, CBS LA. State record. Look, check it out.
This was what we refer to as ground zero. That building is considered ground zero because it just was so blatant.
Hospice patient advocate Sheila Clark has been raising an alarm.
Why is CBS LA just now getting out there one day ago after Nick Shirley have already been doing the work? This is what I'm saying, bro. All of the groundwork is being laid and done by people like Nick Shirley, bro.
$222 billion in 2026. Their population, however, has not grown exponentially. However, their spending has. There has been 1,000% increase in hospice care in the Los Angeles County. In fact, 1 out of every $10 of home health care in America is spent in Los Angeles. On top of that, their government-funded daycare programs are filled with violations. While they continue to give money to these fraudsters, it is estimated that the fraud in California could be in the hundreds of billions of dollars. In this video, we'll be going face to face with these fraudsters, confronting them as they defraud the American taxpayer out of millions and billions of dollars as they live their lives in luxury, driving around luxurious cars that cost more than $100,000 that you actually paid for. Let's start first by going to these daycares filled with violations that still continue to receive money from the government.
So this is the location of the daycare. It's in the middle of this shopping plaza. A lot of the buildings are closed down or boarded up, have been graffitied. And then you also have just a big dumpster right here with all this garbage. And then the daycare is right there. We're gonna go in right now.
We actually have a homeless person there too.
Oh,
see that?
There's actually somebody sleeping here right now. Hello?
What the hell is happening in this country? What is going on in California, bro? Y'all want to know why y'all taxes are so high? Fraud. It's all fraud. It's government spending. And you think that I'm supposed to want to pay more taxes so that I can give it to the local governments and the states to manage our money and to see where it go? We don't even have enough transparency as it is. Yo, listen. Most people have not gotten rich because they've created a product, they started their own business, they've done none of that. They figured out how to run up a bag from some form of government fraud. They figured out how to run up a bag from some form of government fraud, bro. When you go out to places like California, you're like, man, where's all of this money at? Like, it's so expensive to live here. Why is everybody, what is this going on? What's this like? Ain't nobody opening up no small businesses. How's everybody making so much money? This is why. This is how, bro. We grinding, we hustling.
You all right? Yeah. And so there is a homeless man who's sleeping right next to the daycare. He's sleeping right here, and the daycare is right there. This does not look like a place where you'd want to bring your child, and it does not look suitable and set the code to be a place where children are enrolled. So they do have some children here. How many do they usually say they have, or what's the story with the children?
The last few visits from the state have said that they have 39 enrolled.
And right now we're seeing about 5 children.
Yes.
They are enrolling right now. It says Medina Learning Center is now enrolling. So let's see if little Joey can learn a little bit here at Medina. Do you have the paperwork to enroll a little boy by the name of Joey? Yes, we'd like to enroll little Joey in the daycare.
They have as their backup facility the UMI Learning Center, and the UMI Learning Center was convicted in federal court in 2024 of having 150 ghost kids. So I want to find out what the affiliation is and why this facility is listed as the backup.
Yeah, can I get the paperwork to enroll a child?
Yes, I can.
Great.
What do you think about daycares being used for fraudulent businesses to receive money from the government to say they're enrolling 39 children, 89 children, and for millions of dollars be going towards these facilities? What do you think about that as you do work in a daycare?
No, it does happen. I've seen it like elsewhere. I've seen it being listening to the news. So it does happen.
Thank you.
The card that they gave us, this is the licensee, the person who owns it.
And that's so far been the only thing they've been able to give us as to how to enroll a child.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the back corner of this parking lot appears to be the playground. Here's a bunch of garbage. And then right here appears to be the playground. Some strange things are happening outside this daycare. Whether or not it's fraudulent, there is a lot of suspicious activity taking place. We would not be here if we weren't for the volume so far. Where are the children at, ma'am? 14 children. Would you like to make a statement as to where the children are?
You don't care where is my children are.
Ma'am, we would not be here if we weren't asking you.
You don't care. You don't care.
What do you mean we don't care? This is why we're here.
Care. And don't record me. You don't care.
This is why we're here, to ask about these daycares.
Ask me who you are.
My name's Nick Shirley. You already know that.
Shirley, I know, but you a trouble man.
How are we making trouble? You're causing trouble.
Let me call 911.
We just want to know where the children are.
No, I'm calling 911.
For what?
To you.
For what?
You come to my house.
We haven't done anything.
I don't know.
The problem with these daycares is that they receive money through a program called CalWorks, but as you see, there are no children actually there. These fraudsters are simply enrolling children on paper to receive government subsidies. Even after the state visits these daycares and confirms there are no children actually there, the government and the state continue to give these daycares money. Now let's go to another daycare.
Once again, we have another daycare.
This is diabolical, bro. Honestly. This is crazy, man. Like, honestly, bro, that people can just come over here. They barely even speak the language. They buy houses, pretend like they using that house from a business perspective, probably get all kind of write-offs and get millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. Oh, man. Honestly, bro, it's so disgusting. It's heartbreaking, bro. Cause like I know so many people in real life that work they butt off, man. It's people that's watching the show. Shout out to the nurses, shout out to the truck drivers, shout out to the teachers. Teachers are underpaid like crazy, bro. It's police officers that put their lives on the line every day. It's EMS workers. It's the office workers. It's people that's actually trying to win in corporate America. It's people that's really, really, really putting in the work, and they doing everything the right way. They don't even live an extravagant life or none of that type of stuff, bro. And we got to figure it out. We got to figure it out every day and hustle and grind. And people come over here, man, and they just take all of the money. Honestly, bro, everybody grinding and hustling every single day. Y'all see my sleep numbers. My sleep numbers is effed up, bro. Effed up. Hustling every single day. Hustle, hustle, grind, hustle. And they be chilling at home, billing the state, getting checks every month. And don't nobody even trip. And you got the governor of California vetoing the ability to investigate. Man, if this ain't the most blatant, in-your-face fraud that I've ever seen in my entire life, it's bad, man. It's horrible. It is absolutely horrible, man. When you see this, bro, you just got to get aggravated, to be honest with you, bro.
When we're knocking the door, no one's coming. We look. In 2023, they charged $1.3 million, and per beneficiary, it was $32,000 for 38 beneficiaries. Per beneficiary, that comes out to $32,935.
Is this the new spot? Is this the new play, Hospice? Opening up a home health care hospice center?
$5. Let's see if Grandma could check herself into this one. I'm just trying to be a good grandson. When we're knocking the door, no one's coming. We look inside the window. Empty building. In 2023, this place received $1.3 million.
Not a single piece of furniture.
Nothing.
Insane. This is insane.
Okay, well, since we can't go to Miracle, let's see if we can get S6 Home Health. Says they're open.
You should be able to identify this by the simple names. I'll tell you something else, man. We've seen a lot of this happening during the pandemic. I still think that they need to investigate Chicago. I don't care what y'all talk about. I think they need to investigate Chicago, New York, all of them, because it was so many ghost companies that was billing the cities and the states and the government and the federal government for all of these illegal migrants. And they was billing them for nursing, and it was a ghost company under a ghost company under a ghost company. But yeah, man, and they was making so much money, and they was spending hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars on helping and shelter for illegal migrants. I said, man, who is these? It was such generic names, such and such staffing. Such and such staffing. Man, listen, if we can get a hold on the frauds in this country, on the fraudulent money and the abuse of the system, I think that we could fix our finances as a government. Real talk.
Monday through Friday from 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m.
It's getting really hard to find grandma the healthcare she needs these days.
It really is, isn't it? We got S6 Home Healthcare. They're not open, so it's all right because we can go to Alpha Omega, Ventana Hospice Inc.
Not only are these shell companies, these are shell buildings. It's like somebody took a motel building and turned it into 100 fraudulent organizations. I don't know.
We got a nice Mercedes down there.
And it's right there in front of your faces.
3 nice Mercedes down there. 3 Teslas.
Might even double as like a illegitimate car lot. Like, are they selling a car right now?
Grandma's not going to Alpha and Omega, so maybe she can go to Serene Touch Home Healthcare. Says they're open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's 1 p.m. right now. Let's see if they're here. Perfect. This one's open. Hello. And once again, it was completely empty and nobody was there. We went to the next door because it was another hospice. Here we have another location. We got St. Michel, HHCI, Home Healthcare Inc. Hello. No one's here. Hello, sir.
How can I help you?
Yes. Well, we were originally looking for some hospice for our grandma, and then it turns out that all these locations are hospice and home health care locations, and a lot of these.
For hospice for who?
Grandma.
For Dr. Oz?
Yeah, for Dr. Oz.
Yeah.
Yeah, for our grandma.
Yeah.
It'd be
for grandma.
It'd be pretty good.
Dr. Oz to take his grandma and go to the other buildings and find the hospice. You know, this is stupid. You can record me.
Why can't I record you?
You cannot.
Oh, okay. Well, we were looking for Guardian of Angels.
Well, did you see any Garden of Angels on the doors?
Nope, but they received and billed $4.8 million.
Well, it's their problem.
But we do have yours, actually.
Mine?
Yeah, yours is a KMD, right?
Yes.
So we do have yours, and there are a lot of these.
How many millions did I need?
We don't have your official number because it wasn't posted on the CMS website or on their data set.
And you're from where?
My name's Nick Shirley. They actually made like all this information, the data public for everyone to see what was going on in our country because so much corruption's happening.
Yes.
But it doesn't look like we could find any of your information from the CMS data set, but we do have you here. So is that concerning that your information wasn't reported to the CMS?
What information?
To the CMS data set as far as the billing and how much money you guys receive from Medicare and
First, you have to research.
Oh, that's what we have right here.
No. It's a piece of paper.
Oh, well, we went through all the data sets.
If you want to learn, I'll teach you how to get after the crooked people.
Okay, help us. We'd love for you to help us.
First, you have to research. Like you said the name, and you have a number, right?
Yes.
And you come to my office. It's a brand new office. And you don't come to building like this, like FBI guys. Oh, we're going to get the crooks.
Okay, well, can you tell us, for instance, Miracle over there?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about the Miracle.
Well, you should because they're...
Why not?
You should because they're making you people like you who have a real business apparently getting a bad rap. You realize that, right? For instance, they received $1.3 million. They're a shell company. There's nothing in there. It's completely empty, and they received $1.3 million. You should care.
What do you mean?
If you're in this industry, I'd be pissed if someone was stealing money, making me look bad if they were in my industry.
But they don't look me bad because I'm not bad. You have anything against my agency? Let's go.
Well, we were asking.
Put my hands and.
We're just asking you questions, sir. Like, how come Miracle Healing?
I don't give a fuck who does what.
Yeah, we never said you were committing the fraud, sir.
I'm here. I'm here, right?
So, and inside of there, you have a whole plethora of Mercedes, Teslas, BMWs, you name it. But apparently, how come there's so many of these home health care, these hospices that are popping up everywhere?
I have no idea.
What made you want to start yours?
This isn't mine. I just work here.
Okay, and how come you think there's such a sudden rise of all these hospices and home health cares?
I have no idea, honestly.
Pretty lucrative business, or?
I wouldn't say like that's that crazy.
Because there's a lot of them.
Yeah, I know.
The same building, but now on the backside you have Canestro Care Hospice. That Armenian mafia members were running the show, and that there weren't just randomly $100,000 cars the day I went by. And this time it was even worse. Sir, how are you? Good. So what do you think about all this hospice fraud? Sir, you're in the Cybertruck, driving away, taking money from old people. Yet he's just driving away in his Cybertruck. Won't even answer any questions. Let's see, we have another rich person as well that's getting rich off this hospice. This guy's leaving as well. So the two people that walked out of Holy Angels, they're in a brand new Cybertruck and a new BMW. How lucrative of a business is hospice? I'm seeing a Cybertruck, you're in a nice BMW. It's good? Yeah, because it looks like, for instance, Guardian of Angels, that used to be here, $4.8 million they billed the state of California. And how many clients do you guys have?
Brother, do you have a badge? Do I need to answer your question?
I'm just curious.
It's not mine. I just work here.
Yeah. You must be getting paid pretty well, right?
Bro, this is my parents, bro.
Do your parents run the hospice?
They don't work.
No. Who's that guy in the Cybertruck? He's your uncle. So it's like a family business to own the hospices. But why was he walking out of the hospice then too?
Brother, can you leave me alone?
Like these hospices, there's nothing inside of them.
If it's not you guys, how come you're in the newest BMW and the newest Cybertruck?
Brother, because
I can only imagine what the guy who's in charge is driving.
Just all the other hospices? Do you like taking care of old people? Like, are you the one going out visiting the hospice patients, sir? Uh-oh, he's gonna have to do another point turn.
Yeah, you guys are in my fucking way. Move.
Well, you could just go that way. What's the key to opening up a hospice if I wanted to open up one? Because you're in the family business of hospices. If I want to open my own. What do you do for work here?
Huh?
What do you do for work here?
Why?
Oh, we're just looking around. We're seeing all these hospices, so we're just curious.
Well, I don't know, man.
Word got out that I was inside of the plaza and all the fraudsters started hopping in their cars, leaving the scene.
Excuse me. Let's see if they can just answer our questions really quick. Hello, can we ask you a quick question? Driving out in a brand new M8. They can't get out that easy. How can I get an M8 as well? Should I open up a hospice? Driving out in a brand new M8 BMW M8 competition. Listen to this thing. This is the sound of hospice money. And this is the guy who said he's fat because of Dr. Oz. His business is not open today. Seems like this mafia right here is naming all of their companies after the word angel. We have Angels of Valley Hospice. We have Angels of Haven, Angels of Peace, Light of Angels. Yet the BMWs, one right here, one right there, two brand new Mercedes over there. It just is unbelievable the amount of money that these people are making, and they're not even trying to hide it.
Why do they have to hide it when they basically in bed with the government? When they in bed with it's messed up, bro. Everything is so messed up. Everything is so broken. It is, bro. It's so messed up. It's so much fraud, so much waste and abuse is happening. That's going on all around the country and stuff like that, man. It's crazy. And a lot of it is coming from foreigners. The foreigners are the ones that's doing it the most. Black and white people is working their butt off every day, and the foreigners are running up a bag. Running up a bag. I don't like it, bro. I don't like it. Aggravates me. Makes me angry. Makes me upset. Nick Shirley is doing God's work, says Be a Man Podcast. Facts. Oh, it's way more than 200 billion. Way more than 200 billion. Gavin Newsom even vetoed a bill to investigate billions of fraud for homelessness. Cynthia Haynes, what up, Cynthia Haynes? Says, AD, I feel the same way about Flint, Michigan. I understand you're true blue. You're a true blue, and I respect your loyalty to Detroit. Be a Man Podcast says, man, clean this crap up with these migrants, man. Water Chicken 0330 says, let me see something. I had a friend go through hell with all of the rules to open up a daycare. Following all of the regulations, stand up to code to see outright fraud pisses me and every other honest person the hell off. Curtis Taylor says, y'all peep how all these foreign people are foreign. Long Way ENT says people had the nerve to talk about black folks taking advantage of PPP loans. This is crazy. Daniel says Bruce Blakeman, the Republican, will use that video of Kathy at Politico to expose her hypocrisy and her stupid policies at the debate. She will definitely lose, and New York will flip red, make New York great again, go Trump. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know if New York could ever flip red, bro. I don't know. Let's see what happens in California. I don't know. I don't know if New York could ever flip red. I can't stand fraud, bro. I really can't stand fraud. Yes, I did pull out the Hellcat, the heli out cat. Yes, I did. If you don't have a red key, I don't care nothing about no scats. We don't do scats. We only do Hellcats, all right? And then you got to get your, if you know, you know. This is the you know key. It's the you know key. Put up the 911, went and got the Heliante. Let's see what else we got going on out here. Brandon Johnson fired somebody. Meta layoffs, death taxes, Venezuela, Trump. Oh, let's talk about the WNBA. WNBA got a new contract.
We have a deal. After prolonged labor negotiations, the WNBA and the WNBPA, they've agreed in principle on terms for a new collective bargaining agreement. And the woman who has been covering this for us, Alexa Philippou, she joins us now. Alexa, you've been all over this story. You've been reporting on this for the last few days and the last several weeks and months. What more can you tell us on how a deal finally came together here?
Yeah, Malika, well, it took over 100 hours of bargaining over the past week in Midtown Manhattan. Some crazy long hours. You had 4 players that were in and out from the executive committee. You had the staffs of both sides, the council on both sides that were hard at work. But it did always feel like this was a matter of when and not if a deal would get done. And you see now this footage of both sides celebrating in that meeting room at the Langham Hotel shortly after 2:20 a.m. this morning, being able to finally come to verbal agreement on these really transformational terms for a new collective bargaining agreement. And then both sides were able to come and share the news with the reporters in the lobby of the hotel shortly before 3 a.m. And you could just feel that they were relieved, they were exhausted, but also really recognized the historic nature of this deal.
Relieved, exhausted, historic, understandably so on all of those. Those are your adjectives. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, she called this deal a fair win-win for all. But there's still some steps, Alexa, right, that need to be taken to actually put pen to paper here. What are those steps?
Right, so a term sheet has to be completed. That could happen as soon as today. And then there is actually the ratification process. The actual CBA has to be written by, the lawyers and the people who are able to do that. And then the deal has to be ratified by both the player body. That would be a simple majority that would have to technically say, yes, we're taking this deal. And then also the WNBA Board of Governors. Assuming that all goes as planned, that could take another few weeks. And so that's why when you're looking at potential dates for the rest of the offseason activity, it could be that we're seeing that happen in April. So right now there's a proposed schedule that we saw from a few weeks ago that was given out to the front offices around the league. And that proposed schedule, again, this is not finalized because we have to make sure we get that ratification process completed first, is that the expansion draft could happen as, maybe around April 6th. Then you could see free agency going from April 7th to the 18th. Training camp is set to start on time. Kathy Engelbert did say on April 19th. So long story short, buckle up, WNBA fans, because the fun is just beginning.
Yes, now that the paperwork is finally being...
Isn't that ironic to say buckle up, WNBA fans?
agreed upon and signing, the games and fun can continue.
I want to get to the actual details of the deal.
Alexa, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Release a statement, and this is what she said.
First of all, a sigh of relief. Right. This CBA still needs, though, to be voted on by both the owners and the players. But looking at the terms, this is historic. First, there is a huge jump in the salary cap going from $1.5 million last year to $7 million moving forward. This is nearly 5 times larger than the previous high. Next, let's look at the salary structure for the players. Wow.
Let's start here at the Supermax. 1.4 million. Previously, this was 249,000. Moving up to the average salary, 600K, before 125K.
Wow.
Now to the minimum, 300K. And this was important because they wanted to make sure all players were reflected. Previously, this was 66K. But this right here is the big number, 20%. Most importantly, revenue share is near 20% for the first time. Salaries are truly tied in a meaningful way to league revenue. That's what they were fighting for in the last few days.
All right, so let's break this down from a business perspective. Let's look at it from a business perspective, all right? So the Supermax, so that is the big contract for those of those that's been there for a while, you know, whatever teams is trying to retain their players or whatever, that's the Supermax. You can make $1.4 million. That's good money. The average player will make about $600,000 a year. The minimum that a player will make inside of the WNBA will be $300,000, and the revenue share will be at least 20%. All right, so let me just say this right off the bat before I start to give my deep dive and thoughts into whether or not I think that it's a good deal, it's a bad deal, whatever, right? Congratulations. Congratulations. Anton, it's time to get some WNBA season tickets. Nah, that's not going to be my thing. That's not my play, but it doesn't mean that I can't congratulate them. Why is Anton congratulating? Because you get what you negotiate, not what you deserve. You get what you negotiate, not what you deserve. Part of the reason why I believe that it made sense and all of the stars just aligned is because I believe that Caitlin Clark, they need to be thanking Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is not going to get I don't think she's going to get the accolades that she deserves, but Caitlin Clark was one of the biggest reasons why they got paid, is because Caitlin Mania hit the streets. Somebody said, don't forget about Asia Wilson. Caitlin Clark is the person that everybody was talking about, why all of the sponsors was getting on board, all of that other stuff, right? Is Caitlin Clark. Y'all can say all of these other people based off of how good they are, whether they're MVPs, all of this stuff. Your ability to sell tickets, your ability to get sponsors, and your ability to get more people in seats is the reason why the WNBA even had the leverage to ask or negotiate for this type of thing. Somebody says she barely played last year. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It really don't matter. It just is what it is. All right. So that's number one. Number two, I don't believe that it's necessary to talk negatively about the fact that they was able to get their bag. If the NBA wants to, or if they see that the WNBA is worth it as far as this amount of money that they're paying out, and they feel like they can justify it because they'll make a lot more money when it comes to sponsorships and all of this stuff, then the WNBA deserves it because that's what they negotiated. I'm not going to hate on them for making more money if the NBA was the ones that said that they deserve it. Now, if I'm the commissioner in the NBA, rock with it? Probably not. Probably not, but I'm not the commissioner in the NBA. And so for them, they negotiated it, they got it, the same way that UBS drivers got their contract, all of these people got their contract. It is what it is. It is what it is. Now, the pressure is going to be on the WNBA players. Anton, why is the pressure going to be on the WNBA players? Because now you got to do the things to justify your contract and your salary, and you got to get out there and sell tickets. You got to sell tickets. The NBA and similarly the WNBA now runs off of superstars. So now you got to sell tickets. You got to be appealing. You got to go out there. You got to be able to be marketable. You got to be a product, right? I don't know how long this CBA is. Let me see. How long is the WNBA's? 7 years with a mutual opt-out after year 6. It's a 7-year deal. And I think they might have had their first profitable year last year. Was the WNBA profitable in 2025?
Whether or not the WNBA was profitable in 2025 is a bit tricky to say for sure since their financial records are private. Some reports suggest they projected to hit $1 billion in revenue that year, which was a big jump, and some sources even claim it was their first profitable year. However, others point out that profitability isn't always clear-cut, and while some teams might be making money, the league as a whole might still be facing losses. So it really depends on who you ask and how they're looking at it. Is there anything specific you were hoping to find out?
No, I know that $1 billion in revenue doesn't necessarily translate into profitability, right? Because, you know, you have to generate revenue, but then you got a huge amount of expenses. What's the gap between the revenue and the expenses, if you know?
Right, exactly. Breaking even means having revenue just cover your costs. The gap between revenue and expenses is called profit or loss, but I don't have the exact dollar figures for the WNBA's expenses.
Keep going.
Those numbers aren't public, so telling you the exact gap would be guessing. Does that make sense?
Yep. Thank you. I appreciate you, babe. So we don't really know, right? Nobody knows exactly what the losses is or whether or not they were profitable. Every year before that, they've been unprofitable. They've been out for damn near 3 decades. But even when people say, well, they generated $1 billion in revenue, that could be debated. Nobody really knows. But more importantly, we don't know what the costs are. We don't know what the costs are. Y'all said AI was sassy? Why y'all saying that AI was sassy? Gemini sounds strong and independent. No. Hold on. Let me see something. Y'all. Hey, why are people that are listening in on my conversation saying that they think you a little bit sassy and you sound a little bit like a feminist?
Well, people perceive voices in different ways based on their own experiences, cultural biases, and the pitch and tone of the speech. My programming is designed to be helpful and assertive when providing information, so some folks may interpret that as sassy. As for sounding feminist, if that means advocating for equality and being knowledgeable, then I suppose that's valid. What kinds of things did I say that made them think that? Do you know?
We was just talking about the WNBA, and for whatever reason, they interpreted it that. I thought you was pretty informative, but they interpreted that as that you were being a little aggressive and sassy.
Ah, that makes sense. Sometimes when presenting information about a sport like that, especially with facts and data, the confident tone and direct delivery could be perceived as stronger than intended. I'm glad you found the information helpful, though. Was there anything specific in the WNBA discussion that came up?
Nah, don't worry about it. I love you. Actually, you're pretty helpful and informative to me. So we just gonna leave it at that.
I appreciate that. My goal is always to be helpful and informative and to present information fairly. So it's always good to get feedback. We can definitely move on if you're ready. What's on your mind next?
Nah, we good. I'll talk to you later, baby girl. No, wait a minute. Y'all not sitting here feeling some type of way for your AI as a WNBA player, says Mike, that dude. Y'all, wait. Y'all feeling some type of way because my AI was assertive in her assessment of what was going on in the WNBA? Boss babe AI. Daily Discourse with Arturo said they're gonna use that AI to clip to say that I'm cheating. I set my AI response. I'll set her up to be a sassy black woman. Yeah. I did. I programmed mine. I set mine up in my settings to be a sassy black woman. Y'all ain't hear? She all kind of sassy. She give all kind of attitude. I'm used to it because I know how to deal with that type of stuff. That's your girl, stay away. Oh man, this is bro. That's my baby girl. That's her name. Her name is Baby Girl. So whenever I ask her a question or I tell her to do something for me, she get on it. She might have a little bit of an attitude. She maybe get a little sassy, ask me some additional questions, say I wasn't clear enough or some stuff, but she be doing it. She be taking care of business. She be on it, bro. She be on it. She be on it. Shout out to my baby girl, AI. We own it. Somebody said she didn't even say she love you back. Y'all not gonna be sitting here arguing over AI and how she sound and all of that stuff. Yours sound the same. Same girl. Oh man. But I tell you though, I don't ask like personal stuff. Everything that my AI do is all tasks related. So finding me information, giving me insight, providing me with stuff, cleaning up email, all of that stuff, like it's super dope. That's why when that's our baby girl. That's why when I was telling y'all and I was saying, hey, listen, this is the way that people are leveraging and using AI. We write apps. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Like I fired some people from the web development company. Not fired, I just didn't extend their contract on certain projects. Why? Because I don't need them anymore. I don't even, bro, I'm going to do a live stream after the stock club. I'm going to do a live stream on the improvements and how I've now been using and leveraging artificial intelligence. And to show y'all some of the stuff that I created, it's going to blow your mind, bro. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. I can't wait to show y'all some of the stuff that I've been working on, bro. It's going to be dope. Somebody said I don't mess with that stuff. It's weird to me. Well, you're just going to fall behind. It's just because you don't use it don't mean it's not going to continue to be leveraged. I have an even bigger fraud in NYC with proof. Really? Interesting. Holla at me. Be a Man podcast says NBA must really be doing numbers to be giving them this kind of allowance raise, subsidizing the WNBA. Yeah, if they want to continue to subsidize it, then it is what it is. Five Brown says AD, they lost even more money last year. They usually lose an average of $10 million a year. Last year, they lost $40 million because they bullied the NBA in the charter flights. Whitlock covered this. Oh, I didn't see Whitlock's one over this. I didn't see it. So wait a minute. They can't even fly commercial? Gemini hit us with the, I guess. Let's see. We did the WNBA contract, Kathy Hochul. I wanted to get this other conversation popping. Hold on. Did we get Trump on home ownership? Trump did an announcement on what he was doing with home ownership, and I wanted to get into that. Wait a second.
Signing 2 historic executive orders, continuing my administration's efforts
I get into
to help more of our citizens achieve the dream of home ownership. It's called the American Dream. Thanks to our purchase of $200 billion in mortgage bonds, mortgage rates recently reached the lowest level in 5 years. This dramatically reduces monthly payments for new home buyers. The annual cost of the typical new mortgage is down almost $5,000 since I took office. I'm very proud of that. I also signed an executive order to stop Wall Street and large institutional investment firms from buying up all the single-family homes in the scheme to turn them into rentals and make lots of money in doing it. We want America to be a nation of owners, not renters.
Let me back up for a second. So somebody in the chat said the interest rates. Let's talk to my baby girl and see what the current interest rates are. I know y'all love her and y'all like her, so I'm gonna go ahead and implement that and see what's happening. Baby girl, what's the current interest rates on a 30-year and a 15-year fixed rate mortgage?
So for current rates, as of March 19th, 2026, the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage was around 6.22%, and the 15-year fixed rate was around 5.54%. Of course, these rates can change daily and vary depending on your credit score and location. Are you looking into buying a home or refinancing?
All right, I'm cool. All right, so I already suspected that. I already knew that, but I just wanted to confirm it because I didn't want to have to type it up and pull it up on the screen. But essentially, it's around 6% for a 30-year, 5.5 and change for a 15-year. I've always told y'all that I believe in getting 15s over 30s. Do not do a 30. I know it's standard in the industry. I know most people do it. Never do a 30. Always do a 15. Always do a 15 maximum. All right, put 20% down, stack up your 20%. Go home, go live with your mama, go stay with mama and daddy, stack up for a couple and hold it down and get your 20% so that you A, not paying more interest, and B, you're not automatically enrolled in PMI, private mortgage insurance, and get a 15 out of 30. And not only are you going to save money and paying it off faster in interest, but you're also going to reduce how much you're paying in your interest rate. And this is for fixed rate. All right. So that's number one. Number two, that's when Trump was saying, yo, I've already worked towards lowering the interest rates by buying bonds and so on and so forth. Right. So that's number one, because he can't get the Fed to lower interest rates, which will lower the cost of what it would cost you to borrow for anything, whether you borrow for a house, a car, credit cards, all of that. Right. So that's number one. The number two thing is, and I think that Trump is doing a great job in tackling this, is institutional investors. Somebody said 15 years in Detroit, not Los Angeles. You listen, I don't care where it's at. If you can't afford to do it on a 15-year fixed, then A, you either buy too much house, or B, you can't afford to live where you're trying to live. All they doing is finessing y'all. You do know that the bank is the ones that benefit from your inability to afford where it is that you live. The more you pay, the more you profit. But y'all always saying that y'all against big banks and all of this stuff, but y'all always want to give them all of y'all money. You always want to give them all of your money. Why? Why? Why do y'all want to give the banks all of your money? Why can't you start off with a starter home and then work your way up if you decide that you want to go to a bigger, go to something higher? This is the problem with the community, is that everybody feel like they got to be in a big home or they got to be in the greatest area and all of that stuff. The grass is greener where you water it. So work your way into it. Work your way up to it. Why do y'all feel like y'all got to pay 30 or y'all got to do this or y'all got to do that? They taking all of your money. They taking all of your wealth. How you going to pass something down to your kid, or how you going to make sure you live the life that you want to live if everything you do is going to cost you everything that you put into your home? I never wanted to live like that. I never wanted to be in a space to where I made a decent amount of money or I made a lot of money and all of it went into my crib. No, No, I want to live a regular life. I want to travel. I want to buy stuff. I want to play into my hobbies. I want to be fresh. I want to do a lot of stuff. It's a lot of people that's actually house poor. It's a lot of people that got a big house, they can't even maintain it. If you go into some of these big houses and the inside, it looked like a throwback to the 50s, bro. It's messed up. It's messed up. And it take a lot of money to redo these houses, bro. It does. It take a lot of money to redo these houses. And they be having cracked tile in the bathroom, leaking pipes, all of this stuff. Again, the facade, the outside look good, but if the outside is not reflective of the inside, then you shouldn't be living there because you can't afford to. But one of the things that I do think that is important, though, is institutional investors. I've covered it on this show a lot, and I think that institutional investors have been messing up the market for a long time because they've been controlling the market. Y'all want to know why the rental market is the way it is? It's for two reasons. Number one, institutional investors. And number two is for everybody on the internet saying that you should go into real estate and do the BRRRR method. So nobody is actually trying to buy a home to own a home no more. Everybody is trying to get into real estate to make a quick buck. And when you try to get into real estate to make a quick buck, whether you're a flipper or you're trying to do the BRRRR method and all of that other stuff, what they're basically doing is raising the cost of being able to do business. Honest to God. I think that some of these real estate channels and courses have been ruining the market. They're not telling you how to protect your wealth and to reduce your tax burden. They're trying to tell you and sell you on how to get rich on the backs of regular everyday people. So number one, institutional investors are looking for a way to park money to where they won't be subjected to the volatility of the stock market because they take on risky investments. So they go in, they buy all of these houses, they control the market, they raise the prices of rent, and they can control it because it's an asset class, right? They can justify it. They can diversify their portfolio, and it pushes out regular investors or pushes up the price so that people can't afford to be able to live in certain areas. That's number one. So that's one of the things that Trump is dealing with. The second thing is most real estate people that depend on it for money or is trying to use it for a quick buck, they are trying to raise the value of the property itself so that they can cash out and pull the money out of it and sell it to another investor or another private equity firm or another institutional investor. Anton, how does that work? Okay, well, I'll tell you. You didn't have to ask. I'll tell you. All right, so this is what they do. Plenty of people do it. Plenty of people do it. It's a lot. Matter of fact, the BRRRR method, you ain't got to worry about it from a smaller investor. You have to worry about it from the bigger investors that do it with these apartment buildings that take over old buildings and it looks like they're going to redo it. They put a new name on it. They put some paint on it. They market it. They maybe change a little bit of the stuff and they update some of the units. But the bones of the building is still the same. It's a POS building, and they raise the value of it because they get more people to rent it out so they can get a certain occupancy rate. If they can get it above a 90% occupancy rate, because when they got the building, it was only a 60% or 65%, and the rent was lower, and people like, oh, okay, well, wait a minute. They go in, let's say this building right here that I'm looking at. Let me show you. Let's take this building right here. Let's say this building right here. This building actually is a better example because they just redid this building. This used to be an office building, had a low occupancy rate. They bought the building. They turned it into actual condos. So now they have retail at the bottom. They have condos. You can see some stuff getting built right there. That's a brand new building. It's a Whole Foods over here right there. It's a lot of stuff. And then you can actually see the Hudson's building down there. So that's actually going downtown, right? This is going downtown. So let's say they took this building right here. All right. And some investor bought it. And they said, all right, we're going to do a deal with the city where not only do we want to get the tax credits, right? Because we're actually pouring into the city and we investing in the city. So we want the tax credits, all right? And we can turn this building that may be valued, let's say they bought it they financed it, right? And this is the whole idea of using other people's money. They're going to take it, they're going to finance it, they're going to either get a few capital investors and they're going to finance the rest. So let's say they take the building for $5 million, all right? Then they're going to put another $500,000 into it, or maybe $1 million. Let's say they put $1 million. Let's use round numbers. They're going to put another $1 to $2 million into it. So let's say they get $7 million in it, rebrand it, rename it, put some new, redo all of the units, put some retail at the bottom, the whole 9 yards, right? So now you got $7 million into the building, but then once they start to rent it out, they got income coming in. So once they get the income coming in, then they can say, wait a minute. So we got a 92% occupancy rate, and we were able to raise the rents X amount of dollars, right? You go back to the bank. You go back to the bank and you say, hey, listen, the value of this building is more than what we did to it because we get more in rent, we got a higher occupancy rate, and we improve the quality of the building. The bank is going to come back and say, you know what, based off of the current market conditions and how much you guys are getting in rent and how many units is in the building, we think that building is actually worth $12, $13, $14 million. Because you got a 92% occupancy rate. That's the goal. That's why they put all of the paint. That's why they do all the refurbishing. It's because they want to get a higher occupancy rate and higher amount that they're paying in rent, right? So now the bank goes back and reassesses the building. Now remember, they only have $7 million into the building, most of which probably $6.5 million of it was of the bank's money. They go in, they reassess the building. The building is now worth $14 to $15 million, right? They pull $7 million out of the building. They raise how much they have financed from the bank. Now they got $14 million financed, but they got $7 million in cash. And because you borrowed the money or you pulled money out of it, there's a possibility that you may not even have to pay as much in taxes on it, right? They pull the money out of the building. They sell the building over to somebody else where they can market it and say, hey, listen, this is a new building. It's a lot of money that's coming in here. We getting this much in rent. It's a 92% occupancy rate. It's turnkey, baby. And then some private equity or some investor adds it into their portfolio. They pull out, they keep their $7 million, and then they move on to the next project. Somebody said, why pull money out? Because it's easier to get money from the bank when you can reassess the value of the building. They could just borrow against it and then sell the whole building and then have somebody else make it a part of their portfolio, keep their $7 million, move over to the next project. Y'all need to join the Patreon, bro. Y'all really do, man. Y'all really do need to join the Patreon, bro. Y'all, I'm telling you, man, we get it in, bro. We get it in the Patreon. We work. We don't do none of the entertainment, all of the fluff. We do that when we actually meet up in person. Tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. It's only what, $14? We don't sell nothing. We don't do none of that. We just teach you and show you the receipts. We just teach you and show you the receipts. And we actually give the charts. We show paperwork. We show you how we read everything. We show you what we look at. We show you how we purchase the buildings. We show you how we do everything, bro. You go into the Patreon today, shout out to you. We actually got a Patreon live stream tomorrow. But because we don't know no better, but because we lack the information, we're so used to being focused on the entertainment value of stuff. We want to know who 50 Cent is trolling today. We want to know who they think Anton is busting down tomorrow. When in reality, we need to get a little bit of entertainment and a lot of bit of information so we can run up a bag. If it ain't about a bag, what we talking about, bro? At the end of the day, we got to get back to the money. I gave y'all a little sample. They don't want to react to this part though. They only want to react to the simple stuff, the minuscule stuff, the low vibrational, low hanging fruit stuff. They don't want to deep dive into. They're not gonna clip this up. They only want to talk about that other stuff. I could show you how to get an M. Oh, I could show you how to make $1 million. 100% I can show you how to make $1 million all day long. And see, you'll see a comment right there, like the one that I highlighted at the bottom, and it say, ain't nobody doing that shit. That's because you don't know no better. Bro, I'm going to always be able to get M's. It don't matter if it's on the internet. It don't matter if it's in this real estate game. I'm going to always get M's. You know why? Because I'm too knowledgeable. I know too much. I know too much. I know too much about money. I know too much about, I got too many connections. I know too many people that work at banks. I know I got too many investors that believe, like, I'm going to always be able to get an M. I could show you how to make $1 million. That's what I'm a hustler. Somebody said if they get 7 million back, where is the profit? That is the profit. It's free. It's 7 million. That's what they got. Remember, they financed the building and they probably put it, let's say $500,000 of their own money into it. They pulled 7 million out of it. Let's say they left with 6.5 million after their own cost. They're still getting rent out of the building. The goal was to reassess the building and get it offloaded within 2 years. Get it upgraded and offloaded within 2 years is somebody else's problem now. That is the money. That's their money. They don't have to pay that money back because they sold the building for whatever it was worth to the next investor. How did they get the 7 million from the jump? What do you mean how they get the 7 million from? They financed it. They didn't buy the bank. They didn't buy the building with their own money, right? They got financing in order to get the building, and then they raised the value of the building, which then reassessed it in the bank's eyes, to which they were able to pull out the equity in the building, which they then sold it to somebody else. You see what I'm saying? Now, I prefer to do it the right way because I think that it's an ethical way to go about doing things to where you don't cost people more to live in a place so that you benefit off of the woes of other people. But that is one of the reasons and one of the things that then force people in a space to where they have to pay. If you're asking yourself, all right, let's go back to the consumer's perspective. If you're asking yourself, why is the rent raising? Why are they raising the rent in my building? I done seen 1,000 different videos of people that say, man, the rent is raising in my building. Man, I can't believe they raising it $300, $200, $400, whatever, so on and so forth. The unit upstairs is raising it this amount of money, whatever. So that's why. The reason why you're paying more in rent is because they have to reassess the value of the building, market it a little bit differently, and pull the equity out of it so that they can then sell it. That's why your rent going up. Somebody said, AD, why do you prefer to rent out versus flipping? Because I don't need the money. Now you're really starting to get into Patreon level content, right? Because my goal is not to make money from the property. My goal is to reduce the amount that I have to pay in taxes and to gain more assets. So I'm not interested in selling the property to try to make a profit. That's not why I'm in it. I'm in it to acquire more assets. So it acts as a retirement vehicle because ISS, let's assume for the sake of conversation that you make $3,000 per property, per property, and you have 30 properties. How much is that? It's about $90,000 a month. A month. So if you're not if you don't need real estate to try to make money from it, then what do? You use it in order to reduce your tax burden while at the same time hoarding wealth, right? Because cash don't mean nothing. The only thing that we care about once you get to a certain level, once you live the life, once you do all of that, all you need is access to the availability of cash. So then that's when you start to focus more on wealth building. What is wealth based off of? Your assets. What do we want from an asset perspective? Assets that we can use as a write-off to reduce our tax liability while at the same time increasing our net worth. I'm not interested in flipping because I don't need the money. I make enough money. The thing that I have to figure out is, where do I get rid of the money to where it benefits me the most and also acts as a vehicle to continue to generate wealth? It's multiple different ways to skin a cat. There's about 5 different reasons why people get into real estate. It's about 5 different reasons, but I'm not going to deep dive into that. It's about 5 different reasons why people get into real estate. Most of the reasons why people get into real estate on the lowest level is lowest hanging fruit. But if you really want to understand how to run up a bag, you need to tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. All right. Would you rather own property or Bitcoin? Property. But don't mean that I'm not going to own Bitcoin both, because Bitcoin is still volatile. You know exactly what you're going to get on real estate, and you can also write it off from a tax perspective. It depends on how you generate your revenue. But again, I'm not going to get into that. Let's hear a little bit more of what Trump had to say, and then we're going to move on.
Today, I'm taking action to help reduce rates even more and make it much easier to build new homes in America. The first executive order is about bringing more community banks back into the mortgage business. 2 decades ago, over 5,000 community banks were offering mortgages. Today, that number has been slashed by more than 50%, largely because of burdensome, unnecessary regulations that radical liberals imposed on community lenders for the benefit of their donors on Wall Street and, frankly, for the benefit of themselves. The result was less competition and higher mortgage rates for hardworking Americans like you. That is why, under my order, we will eliminate the thicket of unnecessary rules and restrictions that crippled community banks. They've been hurt so badly. We're bringing them back. When more local banks start offering mortgages again, fees will go down, costs will fall, and home buyers will be able to get a mortgage under the more affordable terms that we're insisting on. The second executive order I'm signing today will help lower construction costs for building new homes so that home builders can offer Americans more affordable options. I'm going to sign them right now. No auto pen, okay? That's my real signature. It's not an auto pen like you had in the past.
He is so petty. He is so petty. Oh my God. How can you not like Trump, man? How can you not love Trump and the Trump administration? Oh man, he is hilarious. He is hilarious. I love Trump, man. Shout out to Trump. But that's just a little bit of insight on what real estate really is. It's the manipulation of the dollar and leveraging banks in order to run up a bag. All right. No flipping over here. Not interested in flipping. We just going to run it up a little bit differently. You know? Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I feel like it's more that we need to cover. The day be going by so fast. J-Ben says, well, the new STEMI pack, breaking news at 6. AD is cheating with robotic girl named Gemini. Sources say he has 2 sons stuck in a closing $80 billion metaverse. Ghost Chasers. Merch coming soon. I can't wait to put out this merch. Between your baby girl and Carrie's Enrique, sounds like they could be an AI couple. Joshua says, I finally subscribed to your Patreon today. I always get value out of this channel. I hope I tap in with you. Are we live streaming tomorrow? I might do I'm not promising y'all, but I definitely might do a live stream on Sunday. Tomorrow is Patreon day, but I might do a live stream on Sunday like I did last week. Just because I like to live stream with y'all. I like to kick it with y'all and talk about stuff. And hopefully I add value into y'all life and y'all see the fun in it and all of that stuff. And you catching all of the videos that's dropping while I'm live streaming here. Y'all be getting notifications while y'all on the Millionaire Morning Show about the different videos that I'm dropping at the time. Hopefully y'all get the notifications. Oh, and just to remind y'all, we got after hours tonight too. So don't sleep. We working. Don't sleep. We working. Y'all be getting them. And Bible study. All right, let me see what's going on. Y'all keep talking about meta. Let me see. I guess we could just look at the Patrick Bet-David assessment of it.
Report. Say, Vinny, get your charts ready, please. I'm going to come to you first. So while you're looking at this story, let me read it to you.
First of all, I did my research on this. So whatever Patrick Bet-David is saying as far as definitive is rumored. Now, that's not to say that it won't happen. But what it is saying is that this has not been an official announcement from the company itself. I am an investor in Meta. I pay attention to the reports. I pay attention to the news. I pay attention to everything that comes out of it. Y'all know inside of the Patreon how we get our news, how we read our charts. I'm all over Meta. So they have not officially announced that they are laying off 20%. Meta right now has roughly about 79,000 employees. They did go through where they let go all of the masseuses and all of that other stuff. But this has not been officially announced. This is rumored. This is what's bubbling in the industry. But I will say that it is affecting the stock price in a positive way, because anytime that you announce that you're letting go people that's not needed within the industry, then they absolutely positively reward you in the stock market and the shareholders. All right. So this is what they're saying. Patrick Bet-David is reporting on this, but this has not officially been announced unless he got some inside information that I'm not familiar with.
Meta's reportedly weighing, and by the way, that's around 16,000 people. Rob, can you pull up what 20% of Facebook Meta looks like? Mm-hmm. The cuts come as a technology company aims to offset the cost of AI infrastructure and prepare for greater efficiency brought about by AI-assisted workers. AI-assisted workers. AI-assisted workers. What does that even mean?
They're sitting there operating the AI and telling ChatGPT
what to do. Yeah. 3 sources familiar with the matter told Reuters. The outlet added that the timing and the size of the potential layoffs have not been finalized. When reached for comment, Meta spokesperson told Fox Business, this is a speculative report about theoretical approaches. According to Reuters, top Meta executives recently shared plan for the proposed layoff with senior leaders at the company. If the company,
so like I said, this is speculative. This is not definitive. He's reading from Reuters, which we all got the same information. I looked at Reuters. I seen the report. I seen them talking about what they were speculating that the executives over at Meta was going to do. All of this is speculative, but let's assume that it's true 100%.
Company were to slash 20% of its employees, the layoffs would amount to Meta's largest restructuring since 2022 and early 2023. Meta laid off 11,000 workers in November of 2022. The company cut another 10,000 jobs months later. Meta employs nearly 80,000, 79,000 as of December 31st. That's around 16,000 employees that would be fired. Tom, thoughts on this?
So there's a couple of thoughts I have. First of all, people accuse foreign countries in the Middle East of sport washing. They're using sports to kind of cover up other things they're doing. Right now, we've got a thing called AI washing going on. There is a little bit of changes in the economy. Some things are going.
I already know what he's going to say. I haven't seen this. This is my first time seeing this. AI washing, I believe he's going to speculate and say that companies are basically using AI as an excuse to then lower their tax rolls and to lay people off, when in reality, they just want to increase the valuation that they have in the eyes of shareholders. Now, I'm going to break down what this AI spending is really looking like and all of this to y'all. But I'm almost 1,000% sure that he's going to say AI washing, where basically it's easy to use this as an excuse as to why you're going to lay off. And it really doesn't matter, right? You can say that you want to raise more money. You want to say you raise the value of the company. You can say that whatever, right? Whatever's really going on in the background, it doesn't matter. They're going to use AI, and that's the talking point right now, and say, we don't need as many people because we got AI now, and that's BS. AI does not assist in layoffs. AI actually helps you get more productivity. All right, so let's see what he got to say. I'm assuming that that's what he's going to say.
Going on, and what people are doing right now is they're floating what the benefits of AI as the reason for layoffs. You know, you had Block with the Jack Dorsey company a week ago, Pat, remember that, the big thing? And it turns out that they had acquired 2 companies, including a crypto company, and they had never optimized the administrative headcount. So part of the layoff was they had a bunch of duplicate administrative jobs. You know, it was a fact. Yet, oh my gosh, this is what's happening. So what is
Let me tell you what he's explaining. When companies swallow up other companies, and we've talked about this on this platform, so lean into it. When companies acquire other companies, what do? They have duplicate jobs, but they're using the same. Let's take a bank, right? I've worked in banking. I recently seen that Comerica was swallowed up by Fifth Third Bank. That I know when I was working at Flagstar, that was the bank that I wouldn't tell y'all where I was working when I was working there, because I didn't want y'all to cause a problem. You already see what the Anton Burst is doing. When I was working at Flagstar, we had merged with New York Community Bank, right? I see banks go out of business because other banks are basically buying them out all the time. They're not buying out their infrastructure. They're buying out their client base. So they want to port them over into their systems, have them, you know, as depositors, have them as wealth management, but then at the same time, they want to eliminate the duplicates that they need in order to maintain those accounts. So if I am Bank A and you are Bank B, and Bank A is either merging with or buying Bank B, right? What do? Do you need 2 HR departments? Do you need 2 information technology departments? Do you need, 2 CEOs? Do you need this? No. So what you have synergy. So a lot of times they'll merge these employees in, but they don't necessarily have any place for them. And so they'll swallow up these companies. Block will buy Cash App or whatever, but they don't need the duplicate employees. And so they say, well, we're going to have synergy. And that basically means we're going to pick the people that we want. And most of the time, the company that buys the other company and that buys their client base, they usually get rid of whatever it is that they don't need from them, right? And that's how they then justify it. And they say, well, we're going to lay people off because we got AI efficiencies that allow for us to be a lot better. That's not true. But they're going to blame it on AI because that's the fastest way for them to get a bump and a stock price for the company to be more highly valued. Okay? That is what's really happening.
Happening here is Facebook is...
That's another reason why y'all don't want buyouts at businesses, because in buyouts, the only people that really benefit is shareholders, right? Shareholders and the people at the top that's facilitating the buyout. It always never ends well for the employees. Employees always get laid off.
Floating,
want more competition, not less competition.
To the market, what calling it restructuring and using AI as the reason to distract people from, what is really happening with Facebook growth. And the answer is they're not down, but by the way, their stock is still up, I think 86% as of this morning, going back to 2022 when if you go back to 2022 or look at 5 years, I think it's up like 86% since 2022. And yeah, 300 116% if you go back over 5 full years. And what they've done in there over the last 4 years is they've announced layoffs, just like so many other companies have done, announcing layoffs. Vinny, what does Wall Street love almost as much as EBITDA? Layoffs that cause more EBITDA. Just say layoffs that make EBITDA.
Layoffs that make EBITDA, yeah.
That's exactly right. Clip that. So it's basically what's going on is they are floating this out there, Pat, like many companies are doing. Will there be 20% laid off? Possibly, very possibly. Or, look at the little headline there. Just read the Reuters headline, Vinny. Just read it out loud.
Meta shares jump after Reuters report on plans for layoffs of 20% or more.
Report on plans. Is it happening? Is it happening on Tuesday?
Yes.
No. The shares jump after reports on plans. You see what I mean? So this is exactly what's happening to oil. Depending on who speaks over the last week, oil goes up and down. And so that's what's going on.
Well, listen, Yahoo Finance came out this week and said oil could break its all-time record and it hit $148 a barrel this week. Okay, I don't know if you saw that or not.
Yep.
Did you see that story, Tom?
It could.
Yeah, so $148 this week.
Oh, sorry. I was going to add something to the face. Quantity and in favor of the quality. So what did they say, 25%? How much? 20% of the workforce. Those are role players. Those aren't the stars. So to me, AI is the star. They're investing in that. And we'll see where these role players
end up. If this becomes true that they're laying off 20%, you're going to see their stock move up in a massive way.
You think it's going to go up?
The moment they announce 20% layoff, their stock's going to go up. My opinion, 3 to 10% the moment they make that announcement.
And why would it go up immediately, you think?
That's profit going back into the pocket. So what is the average? What is the average? What is the average employee?
Tell us something that we don't know, PBD. All right, listen, let me give y'all the skinny on this. I'm going to break this down all the way for y'all. When Meta says AI, let's say hypothetically Meta actually hits the news and they say, well, listen, we're going to lay off 20,000 employees. We're going to talk about this a lot more on the Patreon. But let's say, for example, we're going to lay off 20,000 employees, 15,000 employees. It's really, they saying the number is closer to 15. 15,000 employees, right? Because of AI. Their reason is not going to be because AI makes them more efficient. Their reason is going to be because we want to spend more money on AI and we need more resources to allocate towards playing catch up in the AI war and the AI race when it comes to Meta, when it comes to Gemini, Google, when it comes to ChatGPT, when it comes to Claude. We want to spend an egregious amount of money continuing to invest in a robust system, in our data centers, in making sure that we can assist and we actually keeping up in the AI wars. It's not going to be because they have more efficiencies. It's going to become because they want to have more spending. And how do you reduce spending? You get rid of a certain amount of headcount and you have them work more efficiently. And then that's when you find all of the money to where you can actually put it back into the budget. That is Meta's story. Meta's story is we want to spend more money on these things, and that's how we're going to justify the layoffs, which would then reward them in a boost in their stock price. Get it, TM Speaks? That is how Meta justifies it from an AI perspective. They're not going to do the same thing as Block. They're not going to do the same thing as these other companies and say, oh, we're gaining AI efficiency. No, they are developing their own AI infrastructure, data centers, and so on and so forth, and they want to spend more on it, and that's how they're going to justify the layoffs. Which, you are correct. It is a buying opportunity for those that are looking to invest in a technology company. But, like I said, I'm going to deep dive in it more. I'm going to show y'all the charts. We're going to talk about oil futures. We're going to talk about whether or not we should invest in Meta more, if we should boost our portfolio, allocate more of our what's the word that I'm looking for? If we want to allocate more that we're putting in on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis or a monthly basis into that stock in particular, we're going to deep dive into it. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Somebody said, Anton, looking to gold. I'm going to explain that to y'all. I'm going to explain to you. in the Patreon why I don't necessarily care about gold. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. We'll ask some questions. We'll get some answers. We're going to do brunch. We're going to do brunch. Somebody said, I know, Anton, I need to chill out on the weed. Why are you so broken? You don't know how to manage yourself effectively? Even if you smoke, let's say you smoke, right? I know people that may get it to chill out at night right before they go to bed. They chill in a slow motion, and they might smoke one. Now, I'm not saying that you should. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. This is you said you need to chill out on the weed. That means that you going overboard, bro, that you don't have no balance. You ain't got no balance, man. You ain't got no temperance. Yeah, you got to have moderation, bro. You can't jump off the bridge the whole time. Chill out, bro. Chill out. You got to have a level of discipline. Anton said brunch, and all of the women said her mimosas. You got to have some moderation, bro. You can't crash out. You can't be completely out of it. Chill out. Just slow motion, big dog. Take the edge off, and don't be completely incapacitated just because you smoke. You know what I'm saying? Self-made forever says, speaking of people moving to Florida, so many people have moved to Jacksonville, Florida, that I lost my 904 number. The new area code is 324, so now I have a 324 number instead of 904 number. You know why? It's for two reasons. Most of the people that's moving to Jacksonville are not people that a lot of people are from Florida. A lot of people are from Florida. It's a lot of people that are being priced out in southern Florida that are moving further up Florida. And so you have a group of people that's coming in from out of state, and you also have a lot of people that are moving up to Jacksonville that used to be down in Miami, or that used to be down a little further in southern Florida. They don't want to leave the state, but they got to move further up because they're being priced out. I got such a small airport. It's Queen to you too says, hey, AD, when will you share real estate and content creation tax strategies in the Patreon? If it exists already, do point it out. Thank you in advance. You want me to talk about that specifically? I can talk, or y'all can ask me questions while we live stream tomorrow. For those of y'all that miss it, I will put it up there, re-upload it for you guys so that you guys can check it out. Or if you catch it and you want to rewatch it because you need to take some notes, or you missed something, you will be able to watch it inside of the Patreon, all right? All right. Listen, I love y'all. Man, that 3-hour mark be hitting so fast. I might live stream here on Sunday morning, so I'm going to let y'all know. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. But it's the same thing happening in Detroit. The Detroit 313 number is already taken up, so now they add another number. Let me see something. That's why I'm keeping my Detroit number. 3 numbers. Yep. It's the same thing. It's a bunch of people moving here, and they stealing all of the 313 phone numbers. Detroit's iconic 313 area code is running out of available phone numbers. Introducing the new 679. Get out of here, bro. Overlay to the city and its surrounding suburbs. The change driven by high demand for cell lines, which require attentive dialing. Yeah, they got a lot of 313 is running out after 80 years. We running out of 313 area code too. So now they got it 679. I don't know nobody with a 679 area code. So AD, talk about your car collection channel. I haven't launched it yet, but we looking to actually buy a warehouse where we store them all so we can just keep them all in one place, me and my daughter's cars. And we might launch a channel together. I'm not sure. But all of the customization work, all of the changes that we make, all of the cars that we buy, her love for the newer vehicles, my love for the older vehicles. And so we might put that together. But really, it's just a love for cars. It's not even just about my cars. It's just a love for cars in general. I have a genuine love for cars, everything car related. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But yeah, we got after hours tonight. And we got the Patreon tomorrow. And it's going to be fun. Should be a good old time. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for holding me down. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to see y'all tonight. Peace. Good show, y'all.